Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment, Land & Sea Motorsports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping with news that's jaw dropping. They're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke. From Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening. If you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride of lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater. You better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Welcome to this Thanksgiving edition of Sports on Tap. I am Chris Scott, alongside Frank Giagata and Joe Waddell. Fellas, how are we?
Doing good, jerkface.
I'm doing all right, doofus. How are you?
Again, well played. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way.
And I literally froze in that moment because I was like, I don't know if we're doing it again or not.
I wasn't going to, but I just decided to. So
Why not?
Good on you guys. It's the holidays. I mean, shit, why not?
Pew?
Yeah. BG wants me to jump out and play video games, but he always forgets that we do this on Tuesdays.
Pew pew. Okay.
He's on. He's being funny.
The fuck is happening right now?
I'm reading.
It's my friends just texting me on the Twitch thing.
I'm reading the Twitch.
Oh, got it, yeah.
And it all I see now is two pew pew. So yeah.
Actually, a potential future coworker of your guys's, if things work out that way.
Wait, BG.
Did I miss something?
BG works there too.
Yes, BG
Does
works
he?
there as well.
Oh, all
That's
right.
good. Cool.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a whole crew there. I'm really just hoping Andrew's on because I'm trying to make him concerned about this.
I'm sure nothing bad can happen with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways,
enough of that bullshit.
well, moving from that bullshit on to some more bullshit.
Speaking of, but we have a lot of bullshit to get to.
We do have a lot of bullshit to get to. I mean, obviously, we'll start with the obvious one, the quote unquote professional football team in this city, the Detroit Lions.
We're gonna have another one pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
2020. I'm happy about that.
I am happy about that.
2023. We're gonna have another professional football team.
I actually, as soon as I saw
What
that,
did I miss?
oh, the Michigan Panthers are coming back, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not hear
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're one of the 8 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
So
Another team
as
to
soon-
suck.
well, they've actually won something in
Yeah.
So was Sparty, and we saw how that went.
But as soon as I saw the news come up, I sent a text to my buddy. I was like, "Hey, man, you better break out your Michigan Panthers apparel because he's actually got quite a bit of it." He goes, "Wait, what do you mean?" And I sent him the Twitter page or whatever that had the logos on it. I'm like, "They're back." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah, no, this is fucking real, dude." He was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'll break that shit out."
Okay.
So
Yeah, buddy.
Maybe we'll have decent football in Detroit.
can't get any worse. Can't get it. It can't get any worse, Frank.
Oh.
Can it?
I mean, they.
I was gonna say it could be state,
It,
but the reality is half the people who like the Lions like state too. So no, it really couldn't get any worse for those people.
I feel like I can't even bash the Lions this week because the Browns beat them by 3 and looked really fucking bad.
They did look really bad.
So like
Yes.
I can't even bash the Lions this week. I don't have. I just don't have it in me to bash the team that the Browns beat by
Barely
by
escaped.
3. Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
if anything, you could bash their head coach.
Well, listen, I've been bashing him since he got the job.
it is, yeah.
He's a clown. So I mean, I'm going to continue to bash him, I guess. But
At this point, that's an insult to Ronald McDonald.
yeah, right. I'm gonna bash the Browns a little bit.
You
Tell you
should.
that. I mean,
Oh, that's a fucked up situation going on there, man.
there's a lot of coaching problems in that locker room. There's a lot of issues. That defense is not playing well at all with the names they have in that locker room. Their offensive play calling is brutal, and it's the head coach Stefanski making the play calls, doing the play calling, and it's just they're very choppy. They're very up and down, and it's just bad. Your quarterback has a slew of injuries, and you're still trotting him out there. Listen, props to him. He wants to play. Okay, be the coach. Tell him to sit the fuck down.
Right.
Okay,
And now,
because that's what has to happen. I mean, I'm sorry, you have a valid backup. You barely beat the Lions,
Right.
motherfuckers.
and now you
Anyway.
have said quarterback calling out the fans in Cleveland. Did you saw that?
Yeah, I mean,
That's an argument you're never gonna win, dude.
you're
You're
not.
never gonna win that.
You're not.
I got to look this up.
So no, I mean, I'll say.
I didn't
Oh, yeah.
see he was calling out the fans.
He did and he didn't. But basically, he got asked what he thought about the booing from the fans, and he said, "Well, it's probably the same fans that are too loud during our offensive plays for us to actually hear what we're trying to call. So I don't really care about that." Which, if you watch that game, the whole team is like telling
Oh,
the
yeah.
crowd to shut the fuck up
Right.
so they could hear what's going on offense.
I mean, they are degenerates. They're from fucking Ohio, so that
Well,
makes
and-
sense.
I was
and if
gonna
you're-
say winning football is a new thing in Cleveland.
But if you're a football fan, you know you don't cheer when your team's on offense. You cheer when they're on defense. You just don't. You don't cheer when they're on offense because the offense needs to be able to hear the play calling. If you're a real football fan, you fucking know this. I'm sorry. It's the way it goes. But yeah, so there's some issues there.
There's
some real issues going on there, and it's a lot of internal stuff where they need to just get it. They need to get it figured out, man. And I think the OBJ stuff went a little deeper than what people thought, and it's not necessarily that the team is riffed over OBJ,
Yeah.
but it's kind of the way that was handled by the coaching staff, and there's some problems going on there.
Yeah, a lot of players weren't happy how that whole situation went down.
Yeah,
And I get it to a degree, I guess, because to me, he just doesn't seem like that great of a teammate. But apparently, he was. I mean,
well, listen, you can like the guy on a personal level, but he not necessarily doing anything for the team either. So I mean, but it's just again, no matter how it was handled, the coaching staff didn't handle it properly.
No.
And you need a coaching staff that's going to handle situations properly in order for your team to be able to stick together. They need to trust that you're handling things in the best interest of the team and in the best interest of the players at the same time. You know, like there's a certain way you need to deal with things.
Yeah.
And that's why personally I bash him. I think you too. Dan Campbell from day one, because I just don't think that guy can handle things the proper way that a head coach needs to.
no.
And that's what you need to do.
Yeah, it's
So anyway, I got off of the Lions, but it's just because I just had to
fine.
bash
I
the
mean,
Browns
honestly,
for a few minutes. 'cause-
but at this point, what else is there to say about the Lions? There really isn't much to say other than Dan Campbell. You guys, honestly, the Lions probably should have won that game this past weekend.
no, they should have. They
And-
absolutely
and
should
your
have.
head coach kind of fucked you.
Literally,
Yes.
right now, the Lions should be walking into Thanksgiving talking about a 3-game win streak.
Okay.
Realistically,
Yeah,
with what happened the
fair
last
enough.
2 weeks,
Fair enough. Yeah, it's hard to
going
disagree
into
with that.
the situation that's coming up,
Yeah.
a halfway competent football team would be
Right.
talking about a 3-game win streak.
Right.
Yeah.
But obviously, the game against the Steelers, that was a total shit show in
No
itself.
matter how many times it was handed to you.
Yeah, and you just said no, we don't want it. And then this game against the Browns, where your head coach basically told you he fucked you because he doesn't know how to call plays or anything like that.
And it still confuses me with the quarterback situation. I didn't watch the game. Not going to make. Wow,
Oh,
they're all
damn,
going
dude.
down now.
Dude, you're struggling.
Whoa,
Dominoes.
that's an awkward position for them to be in.
Dominoes,
And it-
bitch.
and but I read something today, and I don't know how true this is, but apparently now there's a rift between Jared Goff and Anthony Lynn. Apparently, I don't know how true this is. I just caught it in passing, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm like, dude, what is it with the Jared Goff guy? Like Sean McVay hated him, and now like apparently Anthony Lynn hates him. Like what, dude?
And that's a question that I would like the answer to also at this point, really. The situation with Jared Goff is intriguing to me because he was number 1 overall, wasn't he?
I believe so.
So
He was.
we're talking about number 1 overall pick. Is the attitude because he was a number 1 overall pick
Yeah.
and had absolutely no business being the number 1 overall pick? Is the attitude that he's some piece of shit behind the scenes because he doesn't say shit in front of the camera?
No.
So as a person, we have no idea what he's like. What's like? I'm hearing things from that locker room, but nobody's saying anything, which in a way makes me happy. But at the same time, I'd like to know what the hell's going on.
And to that point, if Dan Campbell is this great head coach that all these Lion honks claimed him to be. Why is this happening in year one of your tenure? Like, honestly, why in year one of your tenure? It's barely halfway through the season.
I know.
And this is happening already.
I mean, I've got this image up in front of me the Lions posted earlier. It's Penei Sewell. It's got his stats from the last 6 games.
Yeah.
174 pass blocking snaps. He's only allowed 5 pressures. 0 sacks.
Yeah.
We're still having a conversation on whether this guy should be playing the side that he's achieved these stats on.
Lion-esque, baby.
It's things like that that make me stop asking these questions.
Right.
Would I like the answer? Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and waste anybody's time anymore
Well, wait a second.
asking you guys.
Hasn't he been playing? Hasn't he been moved back over to right, or is he still?
He was back over to left this
He was
week.
back over to left. Because
Because
Decker
Taylor
got
Decker
hurt
went
again.
back out. Yeah,
Decker got hurt again.
Yeah, he hurt his feelings. Fans were too mean to him.
Yeah, right. But we
Yeah, as soon as you allow no sacks over 6 games, I'll
Right.
shut the fuck up about you too.
exactly. But you go from one Lion-esque situation to another Lion-esque situation. If you've read reports today that
Adam Nagy.
yes, Adam Nagy, your boy. There's reports coming out of Chicago that the Bears are going to fire him, but after the Thanksgiving game. Which as soon as I read this, and we talked.
Technically, wouldn't they have already fired him?
Right.
Just gave him gave him an effective date
And-
of later in the week.
Like as soon as I saw this, and we went over it in our group text, and I'm just like, dude, that is so Lion-esque. That's such a Lions thing to do.
Yeah.
Like it's incredibly Lions to do that, and whether he gets fired or not after the game, it's still moronic to even have that notion that why if you're gonna do it, just fucking do it already. Like why would you wait till after the game to do it?
Hey, by the way, we're gonna fire you,
Yeah,
but for now, we need you to finish your work.
right.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like I need you to get that done. After you get that done,
right,
you're fired.
right.
But get that done.
Joe,
Like,
But he's gonna do it because that's how he gets his buyout money.
Well, and actually, that's how he shows that he's not a pile of garbage. You don't want to go out
On your
losing to the Lions, right?
Oh, no.
So actually, this is the best week for them to tell him this, because if they tell
That's
him
the house on the Bears.
if they tell him this before any other game, right? That means he might go, well, you know what? Fuck it. It's a regular team. I can lose to a regular team and not look bad, right? But if he goes out losing to the Lions, he never has another coaching gig. Ever.
No.
Ever.
That's why if you're betting on this game, bet the house on the Bears, 100%.
Oh, and Andy Dalton's been pegged as a
I
center
think
already.
Red Rifle's going to come in and light some shit up, man.
You know what? You know what kills me? We're talking about Adam Nagy, and
Your boy.
I just wanted the Lions so badly to get one win and have it be over Justin Fields.
yeah, and then he got
That's literally the only thing I was looking forward to at this point.
Your unnatural hatred for Justin Fields is astonishing.
See, I'm with you there. He really does.
I don't get
hate
it.
Justin Fields.
I just look at him and go, this dude is so overrated. Your hatred of Carson Wentz.
I don't think it's
Or
quite
you-
to this level.
Your dislike of Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Even his dislike of Carson Wentz is not on your level of Justin Fields' hatred.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah,
It's that bad.
It's bad.
You've
yeah.
been bashing him since they drafted him.
Yeah,
I really didn't see a reason to trade up for him. I just didn't like.
they didn't.
I'm not speaking out against him in a way.
You do realize who made the pick, right?
To be honest, I don't know who made the pick in Chicago. Was it
Joe,
Nagy?
do you want to tell him who made the pick? Your boy.
It wasn't Adam Nagy.
I think it was.
No, it wasn't.
You know he had something to do with it?
No, he
didn't want him?
No,
Hasn't
didn't.
he been fighting putting him in the entire season?
That's
He's
what-
been trying to play Dalton.
That's why the first game he was
that's
in there.
right, yeah,
Again,
that's
that's
right,
why
yeah.
the first game against Cleveland when he was in there. That's why he left him hanging out to
I'm thinking
dry.
of Shanahan, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of
Yeah.
Shanahan.
No, it was Shanahan that traded up
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Trey Lance.
I was thinking of Shanahan.
No,
Yeah.
Nagy didn't want him there.
Yeah.
It was the GM that picked him, and he didn't want him, and that's why he hung him out to dry against Cleveland.
But yeah, either way, like some guys get all this hype around them and they amount to nothing. And from what I saw from Justin Fields coming into the season was a guy who had one good season in college, and I had no reason to think that he was actually going to pan out to be anything. And people were making him sound like he was going to be the savior in Chicago. I don't buy into hype on
Well,
people.
I mean, when you've gone through as many quarterbacks as that franchise has,
like Joe will be the first person to tell you. I've said this about Patrick Mahomes. I've said this about Russ Wilson. I've said this about a few guys.
You
that
have
I'm
an
not
unnatural
sold on.
hatred for new quarterbacks.
apparently.
I just have an unnatural hatred for people who get overhyped and haven't proven nothing.
But how is that on them? How is that on the player themselves?
That is probably more of a media thing. But
I would think.
we're
yeah.
not talking rational here.
I love how it actually dawned on him that was the
Oh,
smart,
wait.
that was a smart thing for you to say. He's like, well, yeah, I mean, you're right. that's probably on the media. It's not on them. I'm sorry to them, but still.
Just let me have this one.
I saw it. Did you see it?
I did.
It clicked
It's one
on his
thing
face.
to see it.
I saw the eyes widen. You're like,
It was another thing to feel it happen.
I could almost see the light bulb go on.
I was like, yeah, this is entirely a media thing, but I'm being irrational and I don't really care at this point in time. Fuck Justin Fields.
I mean, you are a Lions fan, so I get it.
Yeah.
You are irrational. I get it.
I was trying to think of a creative way to say I was on probation with them, but I got nothing.
I guess speaking of your hatred for Justin Fields and all new quarterbacks, because you've said the exact same things about Russell Wilson, who's turned out to be probably a Hall of Famer, Patrick Mahomes, who has had one of the best beginnings of a career ever, other than this year.
I'll help you speed up the list. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, yeah, but
Justin
those two are still.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on to determine their.
I'm sorry, but if you want to play that game, look at Hurts' numbers and compare them straight up to Lamar.
I'm okay.
He's a better quarterback right now at this point in his career than Lamar was at this point.
Disagree with
And I remember we talked about this back then. Who was like out of Tua or Jalen Hurts? I'm like, give me Jalen Hurts all day.
Yeah, I love Jalen
And
Hurts.
if you want me to
I've
be
said it
honest,
from day one.
Yeah.
fucking Lamar Jackson's another one that I'm really starting to dislike because it's all hype with him. He's a mediocre quarterback that has great legs. That sounded really bad. He's got wheels on him. Other than that, I'm just trying. It's going to be one of those days where I just say some dumb shit, guys. Buckle up.
As long as you don't say some certain things, it's fine.
Well, this is awkward.
We're going to go back to just shutting the fuck up. There will be no accidental anything from me today.
Don't make promises you can't keep,
Yeah,
Frank.
don't do
Oh,
that.
I can control saying anything.
So bad.
And you know that I am primed to just give one-word answers the entire fucking show.
Listen, man, you can't hate us for you saying
That's why
Lamar Jackson had some great legs.
my only defense is I did catch myself immediately as those words left my mouth. I went, Lamar's got some great legs. That sounds really bad.
Too bad he didn't catch himself that there's some other things immediately.
In his defense, he did not know.
I was going to say,
This is
there are
true.
some things that I just don't know.
In his defense, it wouldn't have dawned on him at all because he just literally didn't know.
It was so bad that I almost doubled down on what I had said, not knowing.
Can you imagine
Which,
if he did that?
I mean, you and I went silent as it was.
Oh, yeah.
I might have just shut everything off.
I think it's the one and only time I've actually gotten you guys to be completely silent. No laughing, no nothing. I just look over and I'm like, what the fuck did I say?
It might have been the first time we would have just ended the show.
Yeah.
Like we would have just done. Just everything just shuts off. We're just we're done, guys. See ya.
Oh, my God. That would have been great.
And BG.
BG's commenting leg emojis.
Oh, Jesus. Unbelievable. Now, Frank, with your irrational hatred of young quarterbacks, I will actually join you in an irrational hatred of a young quarterback, Daniel Jones. I fucking hate this guy.
I think that's legit though. The guy
He is awful.
I would like to just go back to preseason when I told you guys he was the worst quarterback
so
in the NFL.
I was in agreement with you.
Like, there's not often that I have a take that's
You know what?
spot on. That is one I'm going to take right
You know
now.
why I think
He is awful.
you have a quote unquote irrational hatred for him right now? Because before the season started, you actually picked the Giants to win the division,
did.
and you picked
But
Daniel.
that was the hot take.
But
though.
you picked Daniel Jones to have a good season too.
I thought he would.
So I think that's part of the reason why.
No,
you have an irrational because you actually kind of bought in a little bit and thought maybe he could be, and all of a sudden he's like, "Fuck you, man, I can't."
No, honestly, it's not even that.
And
It's
he
just
doesn't even have great legs.
Quarterback.
No, honestly, Joe's not even that. I watch him play, and I'm just like, how the fuck are you an NFL quarterback? As simple as
Yeah,
that.
no,
And that's why I can't stand him. Like, you should not be in the league at all.
Well, there's several of those guys.
I know. And,
There is.
and not
One
only-
of
not
them
only
plays
are-
in Detroit. Actually, 3 of them might
Like,
play in
not-
Detroit.
like, not only are you in the league, but you're a starting fucking quarterback.
What's
For
okay?
one of the NFL's prime franchises.
Right.
You're so bad that Eli Manning talked about how bad you are.
Yeah. And that's why I can't stand
and he,
this dude.
and
Like,
he
why?
toes the New York Giants company line.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, dude. It's pathetic watching him call a Giants game.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
BG says, "Not again, man."
That was intentional, BG. That was intentional.
Again?
Not again, man. Oh, great one, BG.
Solid American Pie reset. Nicely done, sir.
The fuck are you doing?
Hey, man. You know how days like this go. Nobody knows what's going to come out of
Listen,
my
you-
mouth at any given moment
Hey,
right
man,
now.
it's our Thanksgiving show. There are no fucking rules.
Yeah, and sometimes when you fuck something up like that, you say something like that, you just gotta own it and run with it, right?
I'm definitely the type of person that I'll just steer into
Yeah.
it and own it.
You listen, you drive right into that wall, man.
Like,
That's what,
I'm not gonna lie. Like Frank,
you
Joe,
Dale
and I,
Earnhardted.
Frank, Joe, and I in our everyday lives
Ouch.
at our jobs.
Ouch.
Oh yeah,
Ouch.
yeah. You made a lot of laughs, and then you made it right. Yes.
Ouch.
I said you just gotta steer right into it. Steer
Yes,
right into that wall,
that's
man.
right.
Just Dale Earnhardt it.
Now, Frank, Joe, and I, we in our jobs, we've had kind of a shitty week. We've dealt with a lot of dumb this week.
Well, Frank hasn't.
A lot of dumb.
Well, yeah.
Well, he kind of did
He's
before
been, he's been dealing with a lot of dumb.
I dealt
Yes.
with so much dumb that I haven't had to deal with dumb this week.
That's
Fair enough.
very solid, sir.
But Joe and I have dealt with a lot of dumb this week,
yes.
and it's only Tuesday. So you know what? Like I said, this show today, it's anything goes. Fuck it, who cares?
and
I was gonna say we're probably gonna go a little bit longer than normal because we're gonna try to do most of the football stuff. Because
I'm gonna do some of it.
no Sunday, correct? Are
No
we doing
Sunday show.
this
Yeah,
week?
no. It's a holiday weekend. We're
Yeah.
not going to do any Sunday show. We'll have everything out there on sotdet.com for you guys if you
Yeah.
want to get your Sunday football fix in.
We've got 3 games
There
on
won't be
Thanksgiving,
game day
which
this
is
year.
awesome.
Yes.
We'll get into a little bit of it here. And we're just
But,
gonna have some fun this week.
Yeah, we're just here to enjoy ourselves tonight. This
sure.
is kind of our Thanksgiving with each other, so
Word.
we're just gonna have fun and like you said, we've had some some shitty days at work so far this
Yes,
week.
we have.
Because apparently everyone forgets there's a fucking holiday.
Yeah.
And they forget they have to try. Oh, they're like, oh, now we got to cram everything into 3 days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's not usually a problem, except when they realize that it's only a 3-day week at the end of day 2.
Right. Well, and if you're a coworker listening right now, you're not the stupid one. Maybe.
You might be.
You might be, but I'm not going to tell you that. And if any of my bosses are listening, again, I love my job. And
If my boss is listening, you're a fucking moron.
I like my bosses, but if you're listening,
I was gonna say if my direct
You know.
boss is listening, what's up, Anthony? Great dude. Everybody else, I still need that job for a little bit.
yeah. I'm just going to say, bosses, I love my job, and I just hate some of the people. And you get that because we talk about it all the time. So, yeah, moving on.
Moving on. Yes, thank you. Moving
Yeah.
on. I got nothing, man. Thank you for throwing it to me like that. I appreciate it. No, let's
I just said moving on. I didn't mean moving on with you.
Don't
But
say, well, I mean, let's get into some college football talk because
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Because last week, you saw Michigan State go down to Columbus, and Spartan fans are hooting and hollering. We can take down the Buckeyes. And history has
Yeah, you took him down, man. Took down the first string, took down the second string,
right.
took down third string.
and in history with that game,
I think the
it's-
student section put up 40
maybe,
on them.
but the history with that game, Sparty generally plays Ohio State pretty tough, and then you turn around and at halftime it's 49-0. I was like, Mel, you better secure that bag, bro. Secure that bag now.
Yeah, you better sign.
Get to your agent at halftime and be like, dude, sign that contract now.
So he has not officially signed that
Nope.
yet. Okay.
No, it's not been signed
That
yet.
makes
but-
me feel a lot better.
No.
Well, so
He was kind of, I'm gonna own it. I've been telling you guys the last 2 weeks. I'm not sold on him getting this big payday. Wait. He had it.
We saw what James
Three-win
Franklin's
season.
side went today. Good Lord.
Right.
Wait, what was that?
But
James Franklin, the Penn State
10-year
coach.
deal.
Yeah, you got a 10-year deal. Yeah, that guy.
At Penn State?
At
Yep.
Penn State. Yeah, that guy.
first buyout comes after year 4, I think, at $12 million.
Seriously.
For
Yeah.
what?
Exactly. That's
what
my
I mean.
point.
Holy shit.
But looking at Mel Tucker, he's got a 3-win season and whatever they end up with this year.
Yeah. My guess, though, what are they at now? 9-2?
Sounds
8-2,
about right.
whatever,
8-2,
9-2,
9-2,
whatever, anyway.
somewhere in that.
He's gonna get at least
Yeah.
10. He's gonna get at least 10 wins, I believe, because they got who the fuck they got this weekend? Oh,
Yeah,
they got Penn State.
They got Penn State this
They
weekend.
got James Franklin, who just
and then,
got the giant
and then
payday.
what? Maybe a bowl game?
Oh, they're definitely gonna. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
but
yeah.
that's what you're counting, right?
Yeah,
As
yeah,
the-
Yeah.
yeah. So I think out of one of those two games, they'll get it.
They'll be like the day after Christmas in the Motor City Bowl or some shit.
Well, if Michigan State wins against Penn State, they're probably gonna get a New Year's Day bowl. Yeah,
They could.
Yeah, they'll probably get a New Year's Day where probably like something like the fucking like Outback Bowl or some bullshit like that.
Be the 3:30 kickoff game.
Sweet,
Hey,
you know.
I'll
But-
take it. I'll
but-
watch. It's better than going to the playoff and getting your.
But watching
ass
it because
beat.
that game was on simultaneously with the Arsenal Liverpool game, so I was watching both of them, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, when I saw the score was 49-0, I was like, what is this got to be like late third quarter? And I saw it was at halftime. I'm like, whoa, that's bad. Like, and now it actually enrages me even more that Michigan lost to that fucking team.
I will, mind
Yeah.
you, I was working the night before, so I don't get home, get into bed until about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Right.
I find out that night I don't have to work the next day. Sweet, get to watch some football. So I get my ass out of bed 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Kind of tired still.
Watch some game day. Hell yeah.
Gonna go down to the man cave.
Yeah.
Turn the TV on. It's 14-0. 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My ass laid on the couch, rolled over, went right the fuck back to sleep.
I don't blame you. I don't blame him.
I was like,
one
this
bit.
is the most pointless thing for me to get up to watch.
Right.
It is 14-0. This is going nowhere. I'm not wasting my time.
And for me, for Michigan, I hope they lose. I hope they lose to Ohio State. I wanted them to lose every single game this year, except for the one game they didn't win.
Right.
It's the only team I really hate at this point. I don't even hate Ohio State as much as I hate Michigan State. But that's because I live around the fans.
And he really hates Michigan State.
I do.
No, and I get why he does, because like Michigan fan and Michigan State fan, they're the same fan, and they're both arrogant, they're both ignorant. I'm not quite sure what Michigan State fan has to be arrogant about.
Nothing.
I'm not sure what Michigan fan
No,
has to be
so,
arrogant about.
I was getting
Right,
that.
I'm
Thank you.
right. No, I know. I'm just saying. I knew that's where you were leading
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's like I don't know where either one of them get off.
No,
being
I
arrogant.
don't.
Like,
'Cause,
don't
like,
get
in
me
the-
wrong, the 14 Rose Bowl, that's a great victory, but at the end of the day, it doesn't do shit.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, neither of you have won anything since 1997. Mm-hmm. So, you're honestly both of your programs, to be completely honest, are irrelevant. Now they are, except for in this state. That's it. That is the only place where you are relevant.
And that's kind of where I was going with that conversation we had the other day when I was bitching about some people making comments about Michigan should be ranked above State. The only thing that matters between those two schools right now are each other.
Right.
You've done nothing else. You don't listen. Your biggest rivalry, you were too scared to play in last year. You don't get to have a comment on how bad State got ran up when you were too afraid to play the team.
And the funny thing is say one of these two teams somehow by some act of God made the playoff, you're going to get run by either Bama or Georgia. You're going to get boat raced by either of those fucking
Here's
teams.
what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Michigan wins this weekend. And I'm only hoping Michigan wins this weekend to keep Notre Dame from being the possible 4 seed.
Oh, I always love seeing Notre Dame get boat raced. It's
I
awesome.
am so tired of
It
watching
happens a
them
lot.
get their
I
ass
fucking
kicked
love
in the
that.
first round of the fucking playoffs.
I fucking love it.
I would rather, again, New Year's Day, give me a New Year's Day bowl, give me the 8:30 start or some shit.
That's one of my
Great.
favorite things is to see Notre Dame just get their asses humiliated on
They
national television.
fucking creep their way into the 4 seed. They're going to go to the playoffs, and they're going to get their shit pushed in by Georgia again.
I'm here for that. Joe?
Yep.
Yeah.
If I could get the one scenario I would like, somebody had laid it out. I don't know what's got to happen. essentially Michigan, Notre Dame ends up being a New Year's Day bowl.
That'd be cool.
I would love that.
I would dig that. Yeah, 100%. I would dig that.
Give me a fucking bowl game
Since
that
Notre
means
Dame
something.
ducked out of playing Michigan, so that's cool. I would dig that.
They ducked out.
They 100% ducked out of playing Michigan.
I'm not saying I would like that because I can't root and watch for Michigan right now. So no, if Harbaugh wasn't there and I was,
Listen, man. If you're really hurting for a team to root for in that game, I got an extra hoodie, probably fit you. We'll get you all geared up with Notre Dame.
Joe, I got a bunch of jerseys with those colors on it. It's all. You'll fit you.
I know.
You'll be all right.
I'm just saying for that game.
I got a Ray Lewis one right in the
If
right in
I-
the closet.
Ooh, that'd be a killer jersey.
yeah, that you're winning me over a little bit.
There we go.
If I wanted to
I got
root,
no attention for that bad joke.
if I wanted to root for a college team that would end up where they usually end up now,
No,
I would just continue rooting for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan.
no, they're trending upward. They are.
I feel like we've heard that the last couple of years.
They actually did. Miami actually did what they should have done, and they fired their athletic director, who didn't give a shit about football. He knew nothing about like athletics. Guy's an idiot.
Why would
But-
you have an athletic director who knows nothing about athletics?
Because the whole
Nothing
reason,
about athletics.
the whole reason why they did that is to get him out of like their like probation or whatever with the whole Nevin Shapiro bullshit.
Oh,
That's the whole reason why they did it.
That makes sense.
And now that they finally realized there was like a huge groundswell from like boosters and fans and alumni that like, well, we're out of this now. Why are we still like at the bottom of like the middle of the pack in the ACC? This is ridiculous. So they got rid of that guy, and so basically that means that the head coach Manny Diaz, he's going to be fired too because they're bringing in a whole new AD. He's going to want his own guy. They're trending upward. You consider it, man. That's all I'm saying. Just consider it.
I'll put some thought into it.
Yeah. Remember, Ray Lewis jersey.
I'm
Sweet.
considering multiple programs.
And you can
right
throw up
now.
the U whenever you want.
So yeah, it's an easy one to throw up. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I think I can remember that one.
There you go. See?
It's just like you're playing paper football, except you put
Except you
all
put,
the-
Yeah.
you put all the figures on.
Congratulations, you got it. Yay!
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob.
In other news that nobody's going to care about, apparently OBJ is taking his new salary in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
That's why I said news nobody's going to care about.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would do that, but
Well,
I mean,
I don't know either.
like honestly, I feel like if you're gonna get a contract, just do what Bobby Bonilla did. Just get that shit deferred, for
Right.
like 40 years after you're
a Matt
done
Scherzer
playing.
type deal.
Yeah.
give me
Isn't Washington still paying Scherzer for like the next 10 years?
Either Washington or LA or whomever. I think Washington is.
yeah, I don't know if they were able to.
Like
trade
if you're gonna
that.
sign a big contract, sign it for like $1 million a year with the rest of it just deferred
100%.
for like 30 years. That way you can live off it for fucking ever. That way if you start blowing shit when you're younger, you still have that shit gonna come down the line and when you're older and smarter.
What was that? Was it June 1st or July 1st? That's Bobby Bonilla Day.
I think it's June 1st.
Is it
I
June
think
1st?
it's
Yeah.
June 1st.
He gets like what 1.5 or 1.6 million. That's awesome.
Bobby Bonilla Day.
I tell you that dude's agent should be in the Hall of Fame 100%.
July 1st.
July 1st.
July.
Got it. Yeah, that dude's agent should be in the Hall of Fame 100%.
Very
know-
solid. But back to the Michigan State stuff. We had a conversation about this, and it just kills me. I just don't understand the fans in this whole scenario. So, like, you got Michigan fan who comes out of the woodwork and is just, gonna dog Michigan State for losing, right? Which is in a year where they beat you, and granted, it wasn't necessarily like they kicked your ass, but they beat you.
If you want to talk shit at 4 p.m. on Saturday, you have every right to. But you haven't played them yet. And you were too chicken shit to play them last year. That's my only thing with that whole situation. If you did not play the team, and you haven't played the team yet, why are you talking shit? There's no reason to.
Because Michigan State would do the exact same thing.
That's
And-
the other place I'm going with this.
And that's the God's honest truth. I'm not denying that whatsoever. But in this situation, This is where the shoes are falling. These are the feet the shoes are on. We'll use some more slogans that we aren't entirely sure if we know what they mean. I'm just making sure I didn't say anything bad that time. So with I give up.
Continue. You lost me with your analogy, but
I'm saying we're talking about a situation that is Michigan talking shit about Michigan State. Michigan State's already played Ohio State. This is just the way the situation has fallen. Would it have happened the opposite way? Absolutely. But it's not the way it went down. This is the way it's gone down. So far.
Since it went down this way and not the opposite way, we're gonna hate the other people for doing the same thing we would have done if it was opposite.
That's kind of how I feel this is going.
That's what I'm saying. Like both sides to me are just fucking stupid in this whole scenario. That's what I
get to bitch though when you couldn't even play the team. You were too scared to play them last year, and
the fans weren't.
Did you not read the post that I sent you?
Yeah.
I'm saying you for a reason.
Yeah.
Because the post was worded us and we.
Yes, I get that. I get that. But again, you know how I feel about fans
I
saying
know.
us and we. I think it's fucking stupid also.
But when the specific thing I am talking about is worded us and we, I'm going to call them you and they.
Okay.
Just the way I get
what you're saying now.
If you are going to worry about that shit, play the team. Then talk your shit. If you would have beat them last year, I'd be sitting here going, "Hey, there's nothing we can do about it."
Well, and
you
listen,
just sit here and take it.
And I'm with you. See, last year means nothing to me, but I'm with you on this aspect of Michigan.
I'm just trying to go to the most recent time you played the team.
Well, yeah,
not you, but
right.
They have played that team.
My thing is, in this season, okay, if Michigan beats Michigan State, and then Ohio State kicks the shit out of Michigan State like they did, Michigan fan has listen, go out there and be like, ha, look what the fuck happened to you loser. Okay, I get that. Michigan State beat you. Michigan State beat Michigan. Okay? So after they get their asses stomped in by Ohio State, can you be happy about it? Sure. I don't even root for Michigan right now, and I was fucking happy about it because I hate that school and I hate those fans.
Yes, I know, Joe. We discussed this.
I know.
You showed your cards. But you hate Michigan, but
I hate
you
Harbaugh.
are a Michigan fan.
No,
I hate Harbaugh.
I know you hate
So
Harbaugh.
I don't root for that
but
team
you
right
are
now.
a Michigan fan.
I'm a Michigan fan, yes. And more so, I'm a State hater. I could choose another team right now and still hate the shit out of Michigan State.
Okay.
And their fans. When it comes down to it, Michigan can't talk right now. And their fans should just shut the fuck up. Period. But in turn, Michigan State fan getting all butthurt because, well, you can't talk, we beat you. Bro, you will be doing the same thing.
They would absolutely 100%
So
be doing
Nobody's denying that.
So both sides, shut the fuck up. You're both stupid right now.
Yes.
And I'm talking about Michigan fans too. You're stupid.
Yep. I would agree with that. It's hard to deny that. And Michigan Slappy will fight that to the death. Which is funny to me because it's just you sound like you sound completely ignorant if you try to defend that.
And this whole scenario here is actually one reason why I'm leaning towards not even being a Michigan football fan, even if Harbaugh is gone. Which, be honest with you,
you can't honestly respond to something talking shit about Michigan with but state and have me believe that you're not a Michigan fan. Period. Sorry.
Well, I'm a Michigan.
You can sit here and I don't like Harbaugh. You are too hell bent on defending Michigan every time Michigan State gets brought up. You are a state hater. There's no doubt about it.
I just sat here and bashed Michigan fan for 10 minutes.
Congratulations. I bashed Notre Dame, Red Sox. I bashed every one of the fucking fan bases of teams I root for. So you are sitting here trying to honestly spin the fact that you are not a Michigan fan.
Not a football fan.
But you genuinely respond to any conversation about Michigan State the exact same way every other Michigan fan
Yes, because
starts.
both their fan bases are the same.
So everything I sit here and talk about not liking in Michigan fans, you go, I'm not a Michigan fan. And then do exactly.
But he specifically said not Michigan football while Jim Harbaugh is there.
Yeah.
That's all,
Michigan football could lose every game. I'd be happy as shit.
I don't buy that. I don't.
Have I watched a down of Michigan football other than at the Ohio State tailgate?
Joe, I don't know what you do on Saturdays.
Have I said anything about liking a win?
No.
Did I say any word about that loss to Michigan State other than the fact that I was glad they lost?
No.
So what? I don't understand where we're going here.
I'm just telling you right now, the way you respond to that text, flat out, I don't buy it. I do not buy that you are not a Michigan football fan.
You don't have to buy it.
Okay.
That's great. You don't buy it.
Okay.
I hate Michigan State. Period. I hate Michigan State more than I've ever liked Michigan.
I have made a statement.
Wow. That's. Wow.
I have made a statement. It's the only thing I've said in this entire argument. And you've gone on for how long now trying to defend what I've said to you? You did this the other day in the text too. I said there's no way you can start a conversation with Butt State and have me not believe or have
I didn't
me
start a
believe
conversation with Butt State. I didn't start the conversation with that.
Sorry, you started the response with Butt State.
No. I started the response with, yeah, that's fucking stupid, but State would do the same thing.
Okay. You are correct.
So I started with, yes, that's fucking stupid. Yes, that's fucking stupid.
The end of the day, Joe, the way you argued that point leads me to believe that you are a Michigan fan.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan in every other aspect. In every other aspect.
I'm just...
The football program can suck a dick.
Literally, you're asking me to explain a point, and I've explained it in every way I can figure out how to.
I don't understand what your point is.
My point is that I don't believe that you are not a Michigan fan.
No,
I've never said I'm not. I said I'm not a fan of the football program.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
We're not talking basketball. We're not talking hockey. We're talking football. I am specifically talking. I don't believe.
And I'm
that
talking
you are
fan bases. I'm not talking football.
Okay.
I'm talking fan bases.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's fine.
And if on one fan base you're gonna say one thing and the other fan base is gonna say the other thing, they're both hypocritical.
Okay.
They're both hypocrites.
Good Lord, they are 100%. There's no denying that.
So in this entire conversation, I've bashed both sides equally.
Nobody's talking about you not bashing people equally.
So you can believe I'm not a Michigan football fan, or you can believe I'm a Michigan
literally is
football
all
fan.
I was saying.
That's up to you what you believe and what you don't believe. I don't give two shits what you believe and don't believe.
That's fine.
I am a fan of Michigan, not the football program. Harbaugh goes, I maybe become a fan of the Michigan football program again.
Okay.
Now the fan base, they both can suck a dick.
Yes, that I'm 100% on board with you.
Okay.
Yes, both fan bases are honestly to the point where they're just flat out intolerable. Yeah.
Extremely. Extremely. Like, and if we want to go towards it, that post you sent me, that dude, whoever that is a fucking moron.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no reason for that. It's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's fucking stupid.
Well,
so anyway.
Like whether you're a Michigan State fan or a Michigan fan, honestly, it really doesn't matter. But if you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or even consolidate that, give my guy Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank
really?
a call today at 248-752-3631. Rates are currently incredibly low, and find out how you could get $750 towards costs or up to $10,000 in down payment assistance. So once again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546. I saw my opening. I had to take it, man.
It was a terrible segue because I didn't even know this where you were transitioning to.
I don't know. Well, it was there.
I'm just glad you didn't put me on the spot because I didn't even have mine pulled up.
sorry,
like,
man.
Wow, man. Like, way to throw me off. I'm the one that has to put up the graphic, brother. Fuck.
Yeah, it was there. I had to take it. You guys got that?
So listen. I knew what he was getting at the other day, and to me, it doesn't matter what he believes and doesn't believe. I'm a fan of Michigan, not the football program. And I've sat in this room many times and told you before the Michigan State game, before the season started, everything, why I'm not a fan of that football program. I've said it from day one of this year. I haven't watched a single game, not one. Don't care. Hope they lose them all, because that means Harbaugh will be gone. When he's gone, I'll think about being a fan again. Until then, I'm just going to continue to hate Michigan State.
Fair enough.
In everything they do.
All right. That's fair.
That's fine.
Yes. Like you're obviously not going to buy what he's saying. You're not going to buy what he's saying.
And that's all that was. Like, you're sitting here trying to defend. You can sit here and talk for the next hour. I don't care. It's not going to change my mind. It didn't before. You tipped your hand. That was the end of it. I made a statement. You can sit here and defend the statement all night long. It's not going to change the statement.
You tipped your hand. That's such a Michigan State fan shitty thing to say. Oh, you tipped your hand. You're a fan of Michigan. Oh, nothing else you say matters. Nothing else you say matters. You tipped your hand.
Joe, if we want to get into that, first of all, we can address the fact that everybody in this room's heard me say numerous times that I'm hardly even a State fan, that I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I'll watch State when they're on, just like I'll watch Michigan when they're on. This show needs a State fan, so you guys keep assigning it to me. So I sit there and watch this shit and try to defend them like a fucking fan.
Why are you a State fan? Why are you a State fan at all?
Because you tell me I am. Because Chris tells me I am. I own a couple of T-shirts.
Because you hate Michigan. That's why you said you're a fan of Michigan State, because you hate Michigan.
Sure.
Not that you're the biggest Michigan State fan.
I was going to say, I'm hardly a Michigan State fan. I literally root for State one day out of the year.
You root for State because you hate Michigan.
Other than basketball.
Right, but you root for State because you hate Michigan. Nobody's saying you're like a diehard State fan.
I watch Michigan just as much. Like, that's what you guys never understood, is the fact that I literally watch Michigan football just as much, if not more, than I watch Michigan State football.
Okay.
Like,
But you hate Michigan.
Yeah, I can't stand Michigan's fan base.
But you hate Michigan. Like, the school. You hate Michigan.
Why would I hate Michigan? They've never done anything to me. I've never gone there. I've never been there.
But you said numerous times you hate Michigan.
I can't stand Michigan's fan base, yes.
Well, I hate I'm not a huge fan of their fan base as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you like Michigan basketball?
As I think we've all agreed with on this show.
I think Strawn's done an incredible job.
Do you like Michigan hockey?
Michigan hockey? Yeah.
Okay, but you hate Michigan football.
I don't hate Michigan anything.
Oh.
I hate Michigan fans.
I was trying to clear that up.
I literally watch more Michigan football than I do Michigan State football. I probably watch more Michigan football than I watch Notre Dame football.
So would that make you a Michigan fan?
I mean, if me sitting there just watching football makes me a fan of something, then there's like 32 teams in the NFL I'm also a fan of. But
well, yeah, we've gone over that.
No, we were at 4. There's
okay. Well, now I'm just confused in the whole argument thing now at this point, because
I don't know. I was trying to find my read, but
now I'm just utterly confused. I genuinely thought you were a State fan, not in like you are a Notre Dame fan.
No.
In like you're a fan of Michigan State because of the reason you hate Michigan fan, which again, none of us can deny Michigan fans insufferable. They're fucking insufferable.
If you want the truth, I've worked Saturdays for the last 10 years. I don't think I've watched any college football with the exception of the few Saturdays I've been off this year. Like, if you want to get technical, I'm probably not a fan of any college football because I haven't watched hardly any of it.
Right, okay, so I understand where you're going with that.
Like, if watching something makes me a fan of it, then yeah, I'm a fan of everyone and no one at the exact same time.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I got all right.
All right.
Yeah.
On to the Tigers.
Tigers. Yeah.
Are-
They've done some stuff. No, they're actually doing some things to bolster this roster, which I love. Like that pitcher they signed, from the Red Sox. Frank, you're a Red Sox fan?
Rodriguez.
Are you a Red Sox fan?
I don't know.
Like
I don't know what I'm a fan of anymore.
I gotta ask now.
I don't know.
Okay. Because I thought for the longest time you were actually a Michigan State fan. Turns out you're not.
No, and that's kind of what I was just getting at. Is I've tried to tell you guys that numerous times that I watch what college football is there. I root for State the one day out of the year it matters to me.
Right, but it matters. It matters to you because they're playing Michigan. So in turn, like I said, it wasn't
matters
necessarily.
to me.
We're going back to this?
No, listen. You brought it up again, not me. I'm confused.
Hey, do me a favor, real quick. Bring up the Joe Wright read because I can't find it, and if I got to keep doing this,
I'm as confused as Chris is. I thought you were a Michigan State fan. I'm learning something new today.
Okay.
Like you never denied it.
Sometimes with the two of you, it's easier just to steer into it than to just sit here and go,
all you had to say was, I'm not a Michigan State fan. Okay.
I've done that before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard him say that?
No.
I can't say I've ever heard you say that.
I have heard you say you're a fan of State because you hate Michigan fan. I have heard you say that. Yes. Which you are saying right now. Which you are saying right now.
Literally the entirety of my love for Michigan State. And using air quotes when I say love.
Which can be the reason for a lot of people being actual State fans. I didn't realize you were not an actual State fan.
No.
You just hated Michigan
there it is.
fans.
It's context.
So like I'm not even fucking with you right now.
No, I know.
You and I can bicker and argue all we
I
want
know.
to. We do this all the time. I'm being genuine when I tell you I did not know you were not a genuine Michigan State fan.
Okay.
I'm learning something new. That's new for me.
I am as well. Fair enough.
Okay.
Joe
you
Wright?
find it?
Huh?
The
You
Joe
get
Wright
it?
group?
Yeah, I got it. It's right here.
Okay. Well, I brought it up on the screen, but we're not going to do that anymore. Moving on.
Wow.
You get a free plug there, guys. Before you read.
But yes, we were talking about the Tigers, and sending that pitcher from Boston again. What is his name? I forget.
Eduardo Rodriguez,
Okay,
I think.
left-handed guy.
Yes.
Awesome, which I love. Those hard for a lefty, which is very rare. It's hard to find, and to bolster that starting rotation, I love that. Here's the thing, though. If Chris Ilitch is gonna think that is gonna satisfy this fan base, just doing that,
No.
he's out of his mind. That you got to go. I'm not saying you have to go get Correa. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, so basically you're not saying you have to spend $300 million.
No. Now, if you want to do it, no. But here's the thing: you have to make a legitimate run at Carlos Correa.
You have to make a run at him, and if you don't get Correa at $300 million,
Right.
which again is $300 million, I get it if you don't want to do that. You have to at least get one of the bigger name shortstops that are out there right now.
Oh, you do.
There's like 5.
Right, but also here's the thing: don't.
There it is.
Because here's what he's trying to do. He's trying to set it up to where if they don't get Correa, he's trying to make it out like, we didn't have the money to do this. That's fucking bullshit. Don't
They're setting
do
up
that.
the excuse before they even have to
100%.
use it.
That's exactly what he's doing. Don't fucking do that. This fan base, they're not the brightest fan base in the world, but they're smart enough to see through your bullshit. Don't do that. It's like we're smart enough to realize that you just don't want to spend the money,
Right.
which is complete garbage. Especially with out of all the money you've gotten from your stupid fucking parking lots, which was supposed to be District Detroit.
And all the money you've saved by not building said district.
Exactly. So don't stop it. Like if you're gonna do it, fucking do it, man. Like stop.
At least
stop
use
being-
the taxpayer dollars on Carlos.
whatever. And not to mention, even if they did sign him to a $300 million contract, your payroll would still be relatively low. It would be.
I don't.
Because Miggy coming off the
Sadly.
books, with Miggy coming off the books in the next 2 years, and all your players for the majority are young.
Very
so
young.
you have them on like rookie deals or their first contracts. So don't tell me you cannot afford to go sign Carlos Correa. That's complete bullshit. Now,
Well,
if he doesn't want to come here, that's one thing. But don't say, well, we may not have the money to sign him. Fuck you. That's bullshit.
No, that's basically they don't want to spend $300 million. In that case, what's the difference between $300 million or $295 million?
Exactly.
Like I don't understand the fucking difference, bro.
Now, I kind of, especially with Correa, because I think he wants to wait to see how this labor dispute turns out, and which I get 100%.
I don't understand it. I would want to sign my deal ASAP because that collective bargaining, however that comes out, could be detrimental
It
to
could
you.
bone him.
Dude,
It could bone him really
the
badly.
players are going to win this. The players will 100% win this.
At this point in time, I agree with you.
The players will 100%. That is one of the strongest unions in sports, if not the strongest. They will win this. They will get what they want.
Also, after the last 2 years, you don't really have an argument on money or any of that.
You don't.
The
Like, your
ownership really doesn't have any of that.
No.
You made more money last year in a year where you should have lost.
Yeah.
Well, the player organization in baseball is definitely better than the NFL.
Oh,
Let's put it that way.
1,000 times better than the NFL.
It's not quite at the NBA level, though.
But the players, even if it does get to the point where there is a lockout in December, the players will win in the end. And that's another. That actually brings me to another point, which I find funny about this, is whenever like things like this happen, like strikes or like lockouts and things, how many people side with ownership? To me, and it's just funny to me. It's like, well, I don't understand. And granted, we're talking about millionaires and millionaires versus billionaires. I get that, but I don't understand why you side with the billionaires. That makes no sense to me. You're a worker. Like you're trying to get every possible penny you can possibly get. So why are you mad at these athletes for trying to get every possible penny that they can get?
Because-
Are they over fucking paid? 100% they're over fucking paid.
But in the whole scenario, they're the workers.
Right.
They're you.
Exactly. And that's what blows my mind. It's like I don't. Oh, they're fucking overpaid. Well, yeah, they're overpaid.
It's
but
such
they're
a
you.
stupid
They're a
thing
worker.
to say, though. Like in
Right.
general, because you're worth as much as somebody will pay. you.
Exactly. You're worth.
Justin Verlander's worth $20 million because that's what they'll pay for.
Somebody will pay
Well,
20,
25.
25
whatever.
Still, yeah.
But somebody will pay $25 million for Justin Verlander.
Right.
Okay. Get your money, dude.
Yeah.
Get your money.
Just means he's worth $25 million to that person.
And these asshole fans will say, well, I would play for free. No, you wouldn't. Stop it. You wouldn't play for free.
You
100%
would play
would not
a
play
game
for
for free.
Fuck you. This is dumb. Honestly, to say something like that is completely ignorant. It really is.
You would play for free to live out your dream. If it was your actual reality, you wouldn't do it for free.
Right, exactly.
No. And that's whenever it comes to a labor, disagreement or whatever, especially in professional sports. And so many people side with ownership, and it's mind-boggling to me.
There's a whole thing I could get into, but
Oh yeah, because I mean,
yeah, you're talking to a union guy as it is. So like, I could go into that, but I'm a union guy. That's my argument. That'll tell you everything.
Yeah. No, I get it. But again, like Joe, you said it perfectly. They're you. Yeah, they get paid significantly more than you do.
Listen, the money aside, yeah, they're not you because they get paid fucking millions of dollars to play a game, right?
In theory, they're you.
But in theory, they are you.
Yeah.
They're the workers. They're the worker bees. They're the ones that make the business money. They're the ones that are out there making the business money. They're not the owners who are the billionaires.
Right.
Like they're you, only escalated.
The whole reason why these TV networks and the people buy tickets is to see the people on the field. They don't come to see you as an owner at all. So why should they try to get every possible dollar out of you? And I'm sorry that you idiot fucking owners decided to spend beyond your fucking means. That's on you. Like it's mind-boggling to me. That could have been a grind my gears. Damn it, I should have saved that.
As far as Correa goes, and this is just my take on it, I don't know if you guys see this happening or not. Correa's not coming here. I don't see it happening. They've already been setting those excuses up for 2 weeks now on why they're not going to do it. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing Hinch having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever the fuck went on with them the other day.
They had a whole day. They had a whole day date.
Yeah,
like literally like a day date.
That was great, but I also don't doubt that he was asking Hinch where he should go. And I don't doubt that because from what I've heard, they're actually friends.
Yeah.
They're not, they're player manager, but they're also friendly on a relationship level personally. So that entirely could have been that same thing. I'm sitting here listening to you talk about Miggy having 2 years left, and the only thing that's ringing in my head is I don't think it's 2 years.
It probably won't be.
I think Miggy will be here longer.
You think they're really?
No.
I think there is a chance if this team does nothing, if this team doesn't get Correa, if they go out next year and do nothing in free agency, I could totally see them bringing back Miggy for one more year just to have that name because they don't have anything else.
See, I'll be honest with you. I think it's less than 2 years.
I hope it's less than 2 years.
I think he plays out this year.
I hope
and
it is.
I think they
hope
buy
you're
him
right.
out. Because this next year he's gonna get that next record
he's gonna get
record or whatever.
3,000.
He's gonna get 3,000 hits,
Yep.
and that's what they're waiting for.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, I think they would have already tried to buy him out.
Oh yeah.
So I think they
don't
let him
think
play
so.
this year, and I think they buy him out after next year.
But even
I hope you're right. I just don't see it going down that way.
But even if your scenario plays out as you say it would, I think they're still going to be good.
That
like-
the Tigers will be good?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they're going to be because you saw even this year, like how competitive this team was this year, with how it wasn't a great lineup or anything like that.
No, but
Are you-
Hinch had them competing.
He did, and I think that's only going to escalate.
Are you thinking along the lines, and this is a question, this isn't saying this is what you're thinking. Are you thinking along the lines of if this team did not add to it and just continued to build, that they would actually get somewhere regardless?
No, they need to add.
They-
That's my opinion.
They do need to add.
They need to add.
They
I'm
do,
not saying
but I'm
they-
saying, do you see enough there that if they didn't and continued at doing what they've been doing, if they go to the in-house route instead of this free agent route, do you see a situation in which the Tigers could get there?
I'll let you answer before I answer.
I think they could. I see a scenario where they could get to the playoffs. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I absolutely do.
They could possibly get wild card, but I don't see them getting to the point where they really need to be.
Like a World Series contender? No, I don't. see
And
that.
I just asked that question specifically because I don't.
Okay.
And that's all it is. Is in order for me to look at it the way you guys are, I would have to think that there is a chance at them getting to the playoffs without adding from out of house.
Now,
Right.
I'll throw this back at you.
Yeah.
If in a few years, especially with the pitching that the Tigers do have in their system, and say that the majority of it comes to fruition, right? What is the difference between this team and every team Tampa Bay has ever had? Like, honestly, what's the difference?
Well, I think you're asking this team to hit on every.
But that's what I said. If,
Right, I mean,
if
you'd
they
have
come
to-
to
And that's
fruition,
part of the problem is
You'd have to hit on every single.
right.
when they've hit on next to nothing.
But that's why I prefaced it.
Right.
If they hit on these guys,
what's the difference?
What's the difference between this team and basically every single Tampa Bay Rays team?
in your situation? Nothing.
Well,
In a realistic point of view, the minor league system, management, a bunch of things that
the history of the Tigers
Yeah.
not hitting on that many is whereas
Right.
Tampa Bay hits on almost all of them.
And
like that's
I agree with you.
history basically.
But, but I'm saying if it does happen,
if it
there's-
does
there's
happen,
no
then
difference.
yeah.
There's no difference between those two teams.
And to be fair, I asked if you saw a situation. It didn't have to be the obvious one. It just had to be there. So yeah, I see where you're going with it.
But I think if big if obviously, if they can continue to develop the young talent that they do have, and you saw Torkelson and Riley Green, and the young pitchers that they have,
Dingler. What's the catcher's name? Isn't his Dingler or whatever his name is?
What?
Are you talking the Ohio State kid that they picked up last year in the
Dirk
draft?
Diggler?
Yeah, Dirk Diggler or whatever.
I don't remember.
Whatever his name is.
Did
That was
he ever
Dingler
make
or
it up?
whatever. No, but I mean
Okay.
he's a highly touted
But yeah,
prospect of
he's
theirs that
somebody that
they're
I've been
looking
watching.
Yeah, and this kid they just
at. I forget his
drafted,
name. I think it's
you know,
Dingler, but I could be wrong.
I don't know, but I know who you're
Chase
talking
Dingler?
about. If you're talking the catcher,
Chase Dingler, maybe.
I'm
doesn't
trying
work.
to think.
be great if we had this thing in front of us that could look things up.
Yeah, I know the Google machine.
Unfortunately, mine can't because I forgot the second mouse. So I only have the show to look at. That's it.
Stack Girl.
Oh, there we go.
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to Mr. Long, who said happy Thanksgiving to us. By the way,
Happy Thanksgiving, Mr.
happy
Long.
Thanksgiving
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
to you and the family down there in Florida.
2020 draft, wasn't it?
I have no idea. But again, the kid they just drafted, what was that? The pitcher they drafted, the Job kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one they drafted.
Yeah, they-
what was it, second or first?
Yeah, he's
overall,
a
whatever it was.
son of a golfer, which is cool. You know,
Right.
again, yeah, he's incredibly young. Which
Dylan Dingler.
Dylan
Dingler,
correct.
Okay.
Dingler.
But obviously, yes, these guys all have to continue to progress.
Yeah, and we're
They
talking
do.
in a situation where things work out.
But the original premise of this debate was, can they compete if they do next to nothing in free agency? And I think they can. I think, and Joe, actually, I think you nailed it. You're kind of like on my wavelength on this. That I can see them sneaking like a wild card.
They can take the next step
Yeah.
without adding anything.
I think they
But
can.
after that's questionable.
Yeah, but at some point you're going to have to.
At some point, you got to go get your Miggy.
Yeah, you got to get your stud.
You got to
have
go get your
100% you have to.
Maglio.
Yeah.
You got to go get your Pudge. Like that's what you have to do, and that's what I kind of relate this Correa signing to be.
Yeah.
It would be the Ordonez. It would be the Pudge.
I was going
It
to
would
say
be
this
the-
one feels more like Pudge to me.
right, but
yeah.
it would be that signing, right? It would be the sort of veteran who's in their prime coming in to rejuvenate this team, kind of lead them.
I see the wheels turning.
No, to me it'd be more like that them trading for Miggy. That's to me what it would be like.
Okay.
Because he was in his prime when you got him, when you traded for him. and then you knew you were going to have
Just
to
get into it.
right, and you knew you were going to have to pay him. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I can both side with you guys on the Pudge and the
Well, I mean,
regular thing too. I understand I get where you're going.
I
but-
threw all three of them out there because
Yeah.
it's you can relate it to one of those guys.
Yeah, 100%.
because
It's the typical thing in Detroit, I've noticed, and we'll get to the Pistons, I'm sure, in a little bit, but
we do need to hit on that.
Yeah, we absolutely have to hit on
You
that.
compare current teams to the glory years of teams. So, like, the Pistons always get compared to the bad boys.
Yeah.
So when shit like this happens, they're like, oh, they're the bad boys. It's like, relax, but I see what you're trying to do.
Right.
I don't think any
Tigers-
NBA team ever again will be compared to the bad boys ever.
They try.
They tried to do it with 04.
They try to do it for sure.
Dude, NBA basketball will never be like that
Right.
again ever.
But what I'm getting at is
It doesn't
the
stop at-
Wings, with the Wings building right now, people are saying you need your Draper, your Malpe, and then you need to get your Yzerman, your Fedorov. The Pistons need to get their Isaiah, their Dumars in this situation.
Right.
I think we're just using 06 as the, I'm not going to say the pinnacle, but the last bright spot that we can compare to.
Well, and when you look at what needs to be done, I mean, I think when you're talking about comparing like the bad boys, the teams to bad boys, I understand what you're saying. No team's ever going to be like that.
No.
'Cause NBA basketball is not going to be
Yeah,
played
the
that way.
sport that they played doesn't
But
exist
it doesn't.
anymore.
But it doesn't. To your point, it doesn't stop the
Right.
media or the fans or anybody
Well, no,
else from
it's-
doing that comparison. They just
No offense to
they
anybody
do
who
it.
does it, because I do it too. I'm sure you guys have done it before. It's the simple-minded thing to do.
Oh yeah.
It's just take the obvious team and compare apples to
Or,
apples.
or
in that
take the most
situation.
take the most recent scenario
Right.
of what you're kind of looking at and going, all right, well, this could be comparable to this.
Right.
So it's
It's also hopefulness.
yeah,
It is. I mean, I agree.
You're hoping that
if there's some
it works out the same way.
right. You're hoping that these guys end up being Maglio and Pudge
right.
and
I mean, if,
and actually boost the team.
not fucking Gary Sheffield or something like that.
if there's some
Torrey Hunter.
slight
yeah, I would even tolerate a Torrey Hunter right now.
Yeah. The scene of him going over the wall just has me at a loss.
Bittersweet. It was a Poppy home run.
Yeah, I know. It's on our outro video.
yes. I say if there's some slight element to like a team from the past or whatever, you're right. People are gonna equate it with that,
And
it's
I
like-
notice it's
yeah.
so much in Detroit.
Oh, 100%. Because this fan base,
Mm-hmm.
just Detroit fan base in general, they all live in the past.
Right.
All of them. And granted, for the past, 5 years or so, 5-6 years, what else have you had to root for, honestly? Like, Detroit sports has sucked for the better part of a decade.
Michigan sports
Yeah.
have sucked for the better part of it.
I mean, it has. It's a fact. So
Yep.
you kind of have to look back on those glory days and be
Short
like,
of one,
okay.
short of one playoff run by the team I spoke about hating. Short of one playoff run by them,
Right.
Even
That's
though,
been it.
Like, you sprinkle in 2 or 3 decent college football seasons, and that's all you got in the last 10 years.
Right. It's
And it's
Michigan,
I mean,
Michigan basketball making a couple Final Four runs.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like, okay.
Yeah, I forgot
And-
about Michigan basketball.
and actually, to touch on that real quick, you guys asked me about. I love watching Michigan basketball.
Yeah.
That is a great.
They're
fucking
struggling
team to
right now,
watch.
though. They got to get that. He's got to get that
It's
shit
early
together.
basketball,
I
though,
know,
dude.
and that's why I'm not worried about
Like,
it.
and
I
they,
think
they
it's
lost
early
fine.
basketball.
They lost a lot off that
They
team
did,
too.
and they got a lot of young guys.
Yeah.
They Jawan's got to figure it out. I think he will figure it out. I think they'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Even though they got housed the other night against Arizona. Holy shit.
By the way,
Wow, they got trounced.
Yeah, they did.
not a coincidence that contract runs through the end of his son's senior year.
Oh yeah, of course. No, he'll figure it out. I'm not even remotely worried about it. He'll figure it out.
Yep. I saw that and I went, that was set up really well.
But honestly, that game against Arizona was honestly one of the only games I've seen since he's been the head coach that they just it didn't look like they had the effort at all. They didn't.
See, I didn't watch the game, so I can't really say.
They just Arizona ran them out of the fucking gym, man. Like,
real
flat out.
quickly
Oh, yeah.
into that game too.
Yeah.
It wasn't even long into that game, and they were just They might as well have not even been on the court.
Nope. They got run out of the gym, man. It was bad, and I think that's the first time I've seen that from like a Juwan Howard coach team. And I get it. You got a lot of young guys. I understand that, and it's gonna take some time for you guys to gel.
Well,
I
that's-
understand that too.
and that's one of those mulligans I'm willing to give. That,
I am
that
too.
team. It's like
Okay.
hey, listen. Ever since he took over there, they've almost overachieved.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like at this point, in one game they get run out of the gym and look like fucking dog shit, I'm going to give you a mulligan on that one.
I was going to say from the Beeline years, I mean, I think I would argue that Beeline overachieved with it. I think Juwan should have taken a couple of steps back, but
Just
yeah,
didn't.
you can argue that he's overachieved, but it's
I don't know.
I mean, compared to what the expectations were.
right, and that's why I mean, like it's one of those things where he's overachieved, but I don't look at it as overachieving because the team was still there a couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But for him, they have overachieved.
Right.
It's just it's a technicality that I'm looking at it
Yeah.
with.
Now he'll figure it out again. Like you said, Frank. It's early season basketball.
Right.
It's what it is. You know.
And don't get me wrong, I love watching basketball at this point of the year.
Right.
But you've got a long season.
Oh, you
ahead
do.
of you.
And frankly, with the tournament, just get in. Who cares?
Yeah.
If you're number 1 seed, number fucking 8 seed, doesn't matter.
Make it
Get
in.
in.
Make it in.
Just get in. Like if you get hot at the right time of the year, you can beat anybody. Like people always thought that you never see a 16 beat a 1. Well, it's happened.
It's happened like the
I
last
remember when
3 straight years.
I remember the first
2
iteration
years.
of this show.
I don't remember.
When we were doing the show in Mount Clemens.
Yeah.
And I think we actually debated this.
The MTC.
Yeah, I think we debated this. Name something like that you haven't seen that you might see. I'm like, a 16 will beat a 1 in the NCAA tournament. And I remember Sandals guy, Ryan, Sandals guy.
Ryan Clemens.
Oh,
Yeah.
Remember that the hockey sandals?
Yes.
I actually
sandals
those,
guy.
Those sandals came
Yes.
across my timeline
And
the other day.
he was so dead set against that.
They were to buy them though. They weren't his
Oh.
sandals. They were just new ones that they were trying to get me to buy.
Got it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, those were we ripped on him so bad for those. But he was just so against it that would actually happen, that a 16 would beat a 1. I'm like, no, dude, there's so much parity in college basketball. This will absolutely fucking happen in the next 5 years.
Ryan
And it
was
did.
always
And it did.
so fun to argue with
Oh,
because
dude, you should have seen him and Joe going at it.
he dealt with absolutes. It was either
Oh yeah.
this or that.
What was that? It was the McGregor. Who did he fight? Mayweather fight, right? No, who was it? It was McGregor versus.
It was an argument about boxing versus MMA or whatever.
Yeah, I want to say it was. That fight.
I
could only imagine this.
Oh,
argument.
dude, I just sat back and listened to them go at it for like an hour. It was awesome.
Yeah, and he will passionately argue.
Oh, they both did. It
Yeah.
was great.
yeah, that's a.
I honestly laughed.
It made good radio.
It did. I just laughed the entire time, to be honest with you, because I'm not a huge MMA guy. I like boxing, but I'm not a huge MMA guy. But even I'm just like, dude, Mayweather's gonna beat him. It's flat. He's gonna beat him. McGregor's gonna tire himself, and the fight went down exactly how I said it was gonna go down.
Well, and in turn, it was basically what my argument was. I told him, listen, he'll be
Basically a scripted fight.
Yeah,
so
he'll be
it's
able to-
hard for it not to go down.
he'll
that
be able
way.
to hang in there for the first 5 rounds, and then he's going to be winded, and Mayweather's just going to dance around, hit him a few times, and win in the end by a decision. And that's exactly what happened.
Two guys collecting a
McGregor
payday.
came out swinging away, trying to swing away. Mayweather was obviously just ducking and dodging, ducking and dodging. McGregor got winded about round 5, and it was all downhill from there.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. You could see.
And I don't remember I think his argument was that
they're better athletes.
they're better athletes, and he'll be able to hang in there
Yep,
longer than
that's
that.
what it was.
And I'm like, listen, man, they're used to fighting 5 rounds, and they're used to fighting 3-minute rounds, 5 3-minute rounds, right?
See,
So
here it is. Not to interrupt you, but
No.
here it is. You got your college football rankings: Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, Cincinnati, Michigan, Notre Dame.
Cincinnati got number 4.
Cincinnati's got 4, Michigan 5, Notre Dame
I'm so
6.
happy about. They deserve to be number 4.
They do
100%.
But here's the fucked up part.
then Notre Dame's not ahead of Michigan
No, this is all going to get thrown to shit this weekend.
because you're apparently a Michigan fan now.
Here we go again. Now I'm a Michigan fan. No, that my fucking team is going to end up in this bullshit situation.
his actual team.
Yeah,
His
the
actual
the only
team.
college team I actually do like.
Got it.
If we're talking facts.
I had to.
I'm not going near this one anymore. I'm out of this one.
But
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. I looked at it and I was like, you're already fucking setting it up. You're setting it up to just Notre Dame just gonna fucking embarrass themselves again.
Again, which I always love seeing.
I know.
It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Every year I sit here and just beg for this one situation to not happen.
Right.
Just end at 5.
Yeah.
Don't get to 4.
No.
Fucking here we are again.
You're like the only fan of a college team I know that roots for them to not make the playoffs.
Right? Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm one of the only semi-intelligent fans.
You're like, please don't make the playoffs.
Well.
I said semi.
I say that
I said semi.
I say the head in your head tells a different story.
I said semi.
He's come around recently on that hat on the logo.
At this point, the
of
hat's
hat.
only being worn because
because it's a stipulation.
I gave you my word that if you bought it, I would wear it.
And at the end of the
regardless what went
season,
on.
you're gonna burn it, aren't you?
I mean, I have a feeling I probably shouldn't burn it because I really feel like there's going to end up being more bets that are going to force me to wear this longer. But
all right.
Well, not if you follow through with your plan.
My plan?
Yeah,
quitting.
which is quitting.
Oh, regardless of me quitting, I still feel like you guys are going to force me to wear this fucking thing.
Are we that evil of people?
Yes, you are.
I think one season's enough, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm with you on that one.
I believe that. Again, don't buy it. Don't buy it for a fucking second. Have known you too long.
yeah. I think after the season, I think
I call bullshit on Michigan, and I call bullshit on you being a kind person.
Man, all right. I think after the season, it can go in the filing cabinet out back, in the brown trash can,
Okay, well.
I'm actually with you on that one. We agreed to one season of wearing the hat, right? I mean, listen, there's other things we can bet on if you really are still going to back that organization.
Quick question, though. Does this season technically go through to Super Bowl or end of regular season?
To me, it's end of regular season.
Well, it has to be end of regular season.
As soon as they're done playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, it could be now.
Theoretically, yeah.
Hypothetically, basically
next
now.
week we'll have the retirement ceremony.
No. You still gotta wear it.
No, you still got what?
No,
I was speaking in hypotheticals. No. Technically, their season's over with, but you.
Well, no, I'm still giving them a very small chance at winning this week, but
okay.
This is nothing more than me being stubborn and sticking to my original word
that they were going to lose to Chicago.
I called both Chicago games. I have to die on this hill, okay?
No.
I did.
Anyways,
he's
yeah. You know who doesn't lose?
I can't quit you.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson of the Joe Wright Group a call today. Phone number is 248-535-4750.
They won't quit you.
That is the literal first thing I've gotten completely through without sounding like a complete fucking idiot today.
That was pretty good, man. That was solid.
Good read.
I'm gonna make a joke, and I know this is an area that we don't like to. We don't like to go to.
Oh boy! All right.
But I really feel like I've had my Biden moment today of just not saying anything that made sense. Sorry, I had to with him. I've made so little sense today that I had to steer into that.
What?
Oh,
why are you doing this to me?
I'm literally giving it to you here.
What?
Here you go. Go ahead. Do it.
I'm not taking the bait.
I feel like you could use that for the current president and the president before him.
Dude, we can say it for a lot of things right now, but
well,
for current point in time,
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Well,
agreed.
you could say it about the past president if he was tweeting something stupid. This one, it'd be saying something stupid. So
I think both of them. I don't know how much Biden tweets or whatever, but
either way,
I don't think he knows what tweeting is.
I don't think he does either.
Regardless of tweeting or talking, I sound like a complete fucking idiot today. So
I think both of them should just not speak. Period. And I think that would. I think it would help everybody. But whatever. Anywho, what would help right now? Doing the picks.
Oh, I thought you were trying to pitch into another read. I was like, do I have to read this again?
I
got through it once without a problem. You really think I can do it a second time?
I was thinking, who else do we have a read for?
We couldn't have lost audio at any point during
All right.
the show where I sound like a complete idiot.
All right, so we're back. We lost audio somehow in the transition to the picks, so we're back. Sorry about that. We're just gonna make the picks from this.
Are we good?
From this part, are we good now? Can you hear us? We're good. Good to
All
go.
right.
Good.
All right.
I'm taking Miss.
Lead off with the game.
They're the
again,
underdog.
Chris. Lead off with the game again, so people.
Oh
can
yeah, Mississippi taking on Mississippi State. Mississippi State laying 1.5.
Okay, so you're taking.
I'm taking Mississippi.
You're taking Mississippi.
Yes.
2 for Mississippi.
You know what? I'm just going to go opposite and go Mississippi State. And I don't think Andrew's listening. We're going to have to get his picks.
All right.
Later.
We'll get a hold of him later on.
But as we were talking about Lane Kiffin, yeah, you hear him possibly going to USC. I hear that he really wants the Miami job. Because Manny is going to be fired. It's going to happen. And I'm not against it. I'll take the Lane train down at Miami. Bring it. Let's do it. Moving on to the Big 12, Oklahoma State, Bedlam. Oklahoma State laying 4. Give me OK State all day. All day in this fucking game.
Same.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Give me Oklahoma State.
See, this point in the year, it's always, in my opinion, the picks aren't as exciting because you kind of know what you're picking at this point.
Right. Next up, the Iron Bowl, Alabama laying 19.5, taking on Auburn.
Give me Auburn.
Joe, I'm with you on this one. Give me Auburn.
Spread or outright?
Oh, spread.
Oh, spread.
I'll take the 19.5. I don't think they're going to win.
No.
I was just sitting here, and I wasn't actually thinking that they were going to win, but I'm just entertaining myself with how funny it would be for Alabama to get fucked out of the playoffs in the last week.
I would love it.
And if you want to trigger Michigan fans, this is a better rivalry than Michigan Ohio State. Sorry, it is.
Triggered.
Next up, Penn State laying 1 against Michigan State.
I think Detroit Colorado is a better rivalry at this point. But.
Fair.
You said Penn State, Michigan State?
Yeah, Penn State's laying, so it's basically a pick 'em. Penn State's laying 1.
Give me Sparty.
Yeah, it's at Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Michigan State.
Senior day, yeah, give me Michigan State. And honestly, because
As much as I hate making that pick.
you know, the thing is
It's all right. I already put you down for Michigan on the next one.
I think I hate James Franklin more than I hate Michigan State.
Wait, what?
What?
The next game we're picking Ohio State versus Michigan.
Yeah.
You put me down for Michigan?
He missed the joke.
Don't do
Did you
that.
put yourself down for Michigan?
He missed the joke on that one.
All right.
He said he was picking Sparty as much as he hates to do that. And I said, don't worry, I put you down for Michigan already.
Nice. Yes, that is the next game. Ohio State laying 8, taking on Michigan.
I'm going to take Michigan in this one.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I see them
Are
covering.
Are you basically listening to the blowhard on the Sparty radio earlier?
No, I would love to have that much confidence and bet it too, but no, I just think they'll cover. I don't think they'll actually win.
Give me Ohio State.
100% Ohio State. I don't even think this game's close. I don't. Like, Jim Harbaugh has given me no reason to think that this game will be close. So, yeah, give me Ohio State.
And Allison says Stat Girl does help. Because she's the one that said we lost audio.
Thanks.
We wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for her.
I didn't know who it was from.
Yeah.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
You're not Stat Girl.
You're really not Stat Girl.
We apologize for that.
No,
last
otherwise you would have been here to look things up earlier.
Yeah.
This is true. You got to be on your phone like during the show so you can look shit up for us.
Yeah. Come on. Get with it. If you're going to actually take on the Stat Girl logo.
There's a logo for Stat Girl?
Or the mantle or whatever. If you're going to take on that moniker.
Should we make a logo for the Stat Girl?
I think we should.
Well, it would have to change for like every week because that's who said person would root for from week to week. Just saying.
I just know they're Titans fans.
I've heard that.
We are really testing him today.
Look at what's the next game?
There's been so many things that we've just said and just left for him to go, and
Oh, sorry, buddy.
The worst one was earlier. I had to throw the microphone away. I made a promise I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go down that road.
Next up, the Thanksgiving games. We got
oh yeah, we still have 3 more to
Oh,
pick.
yeah.
we do. Frank, your Raiders, you're still a fan of them, right? Okay.
Ruggs hasn't killed that yet. No.
Got it.
Oh wow.
Oh please, you made an Earnhart joke earlier.
What?
Sure
Yeah, but
you
it's
did.
been many years.
It doesn't
soon.
matter. That was still
Too soon,
sore
bro.
subject.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Vegas taking on Dallas. Dallas laying 7.5.
Oh, this is tough.
Dallas.
You know what? Off that loss against
This isn't tough for me either. Dallas.
This is tough for me, but off that loss to Kansas City, give me Dallas.
Dallas.
I-
Derek Carr looks like shit, dude.
I would love to sit here and spin this 20 different ways on what's going on, but the fact of the matter is this. Gruden did what he did, took the team's wind out of their sails. Then the Ruggs thing happened, and that was the end of it. That team has not been the same after those 2 events.
And your quarterback has looked like shit.
But the one thing he had chemistry with this season
Yeah.
was Ruggs.
Yeah.
Even him and Waller haven't done that great. I mean, fucking Joe tried to pawn Waller off on me for fantasy.
I did. I really did.
And then when I was actually asking for things in return, he's like, no.
Well, okay. In my defense,
In his defense, I asked for Jonathan Taylor, not realizing that man was going out of his mind this year.
Oh yeah, he had a fucking day. Trust me, I know he had a fucking day.
this was like 4 weeks
Oh,
ago.
was it really?
we were talking
Yeah,
about
it was
this.
like 3 or
No.
4 weeks ago.
And I said, hey, do you want Waller? I'm willing to trade him. And he's like, yeah, give me Jonathan Taylor. And I literally laughed. You couldn't hear me because we were texting, but I laughed hysterically. I was like,
no.
I just
Okay,
went
that's
through it.
gotta
I
be-
was
that's
like,
gotta be a joke.
okay, if you want
No.
that in return, give me somebody that's worth a damn. So I'll give you this, and then you give me
And then you
Taylor and Waller.
and then you looked up Jonathan Taylor and you went, yeah, never mind. I didn't realize how good he was doing.
I look at Taylor, his last 2 weeks, 50, 60, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Well, maybe. We'll just throw it out there. Maybe he's not paying attention.
Right. Yeah,
Oh.
Joe not paying attention to fantasy football.
Right.
Yeah. Next up, Buffalo taking on New Orleans. Bills are laying 5.5. Give me New Orleans. There's something fundamentally wrong with the Bills right now. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
I have the Gruden and Ruggs excuse for Vegas.
I don't know what.
I don't know what.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with that team.
So I'm going to relate it to the team I talked about earlier, right? So you have excuses for the Raiders,
Yeah.
right? There's not excuses. There's reasons.
I have
right. There's reasons.
Right.
So when I look at the Browns,
At the end of the day, they're self-inflicted reasons,
Right.
but they're reasons.
yes, but when I look at the Browns, it's like, all right, there's almost reasons. There's reasons, but you don't know what they are. Like
Right.
there's just something wrong. And I look at that Buffalo team, and I think the same thing. Like there's
I have
there's
no
just
idea.
something wrong.
There's
something off.
when you just got like literally continually punched in the face this past weekend against Indianapolis and didn't respond.
By said Jonathan Taylor.
I said Jonathan Taylor. Like
Poor Josh Allen was at the
I-
fucking concession stand already.
and that's the thing. Like
He's like, I need a beer.
but even that, he looked like shit again.
It's again, we talked about this the last
dude.
2 years, and we've done it with Baker, and we've got to be fair and do it with Josh
No,
Allen.
you're right.
When he's on, dude, he looks great.
He does, but I think he's.
But then he has his Eli Manning moments.
But I think he's kind of doing what Mahomes was. I think he's trying to do too much.
Well,
I think
I thought you meant he was
Can I-
making TikToks with Mahomes
Can I
brothers.
throw out a different scenario here for you guys?
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
From my aspect of watching football, and I'm a student of football. I fucking love
Real quick,
football.
did you pick that game? New Orleans, Buffalo.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't have you down.
I did
for
not
one.
yet. Talking about these quarterbacks, though. So you
Yes.
kind of said it, like talking about the inconsistency of Baker,
Hmm?
inconsistency of Derek Carr, right? Now he's further down the line.
He's pretty consistently bad.
No, he shows. Listen, the first half of
He's
the
had
season,
his flashes where he looked good. Yes,
so
I will
but-
give him that.
But he's farther down the line, right?
as a whole,
Yeah.
more bad than good.
He's farther down the line, though. So, like,
Right.
looking at Josh Allen and Baker, same year. Okay, so I'm gonna put this
Almost
out.
the same quarterback at this point. I mean, I'm sure numbers.
Other than the rushing statistics,
I was going to
yes.
say, you tell me number. Oh, which one's got the great legs?
You're gonna have to tell me that. Yeah. Other than Josh Allen's rushing statistics, like they are semi the same quarterback. If you look at their first 4 years,
Yeah.
stats wise, as far as quarterback rating, they're about 1.5 away from each other.
Right.
As far as passer rating goes. So when you look at these guys, I'm going to ask you guys a question here in analyzing this, and I know what my answer is.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
No, I'm gonna.
The answer's going to be Baker.
No, it's not. It's not an if and. What it is my thought is we expect too much of young quarterbacks coming into the league now, based on what we used to expect from them. So, like, if you look at the first 4 years of Peyton Manning, now if you look back on that,
Oh, his rookie season was atrocious.
his first 4 years are worse than Baker and Josh Allen both. So, but if you look back on that, did you ever look at Peyton Manning and go, "Oh, he's never going to make it. He's a failure"? No, but he had worse years than what we're seeing out of Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield. So,
That is one I have to step out for because I was 11
well,
when Peyton was in his first year.
so basically, I'm just throwing this back into: do we just expect more out of younger quarterbacks, and we don't let them actually grow and mature like they used to? Like, you knew,
And I-
rookie quarterbacks or younger quarterbacks needed that growing time, needed to mature, needed to get better at the game, needed to become learn the game. Like, it was just a learning process.
I think when Peyton came into the league, it was first of all, it was a different NFL. Period. Like, you could actually defend people, and I think it was a different. And I think a lot of Peyton's stats overall, I think that were hurt by his first year, because his first year was horrendously bad.
Okay, and so was his fourth year.
I don't disagree with you.
I'm just saying. Believe me, I've seen the
it was
numbers.
horrendously bad.
If there's one thing I know, Joe does know the numbers.
No, and I get that.
Me
but,
every week over exaggerating
but
knows this.
again, I think that when Peyton came in the league, even in his fourth year, it was a completely different NFL.
It was a different sport.
That was a running league when he came in the NFL. It wasn't a passing league like it is now. Not even close.
It was still a passing league,
but not like it is now.
not necessarily like it.
Not
but
even close to what.
Okay,
it is now.
but again, you're expecting more of these quarterbacks.
Absolutely, you are, because a lot of these NFL offenses are just like college offenses.
Yeah. See, and I this is where I disagree. I think we're somewhat putting too much on expecting big numbers from younger guys coming in the league. I think you need to let them grow and mature.
Wait.
That's what I really truly believe. I think we're being a
These
little bit.
young guys are overhyped.
By the media, maybe.
We call that full circle.
Yeah, that's honestly from looking at it and looking at the numbers and looking at these guys. Because I was looking at Josh Allen and I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, what's going on with him? Looking at Baker, I'm like, what the fuck? Aside from his fucking injuries, plethora of injuries this year, I'm looking at. He's still off even without the injuries, and he needs to sit. But still looking at it, you're like, man, what the fuck? Like, you got great rookie season, down year. You got great season that year, the next year, third year. Right. Then you got this year where you're like, man, sometimes can't hit the broadside of a barn. Then you got Josh Allen.
Same thing.
Really bad rookie season.
Oh, horrible.
Kind of came up a little bit, went up even farther, and now has regressed again. Yep. So it's like you're looking at this and you're like, all right, well, are these just learning curves? Are these just learning how like the defenses are now adjusting to them and then they have to adjust back?
Right.
Like I think there's a little bit of learning that happens as you grow in the NFL, and you've seen it from, if you look back in the past and you look at all the quarterbacks that have come into the league. Even though Aaron Rodgers, yes, when he first started out he was gangbusters, but again he sat for a couple years, right? So but Russell Wilson,
he also dropped in that draft. Like they expected him to go 1, and he didn't go till 22 or 3. I think it was.
But there's a learning process as younger quarterbacks, and I think sometimes we don't put enough time on letting them grow and learn, and we just go. Yeah. It's another example. Kirk Cousins is farther down the line. You know he's got 21 touchdowns.
Oh, he's having a great year this year.
21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But what's the first thing we say when he throws a pick that wasn't even a pick?
You like that?
He throws a pick, and we go, well, there's the Kirk Cousins we know. You like that? Instantly, we go to the bad part, yet his season is 21 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So sometimes I think the bad just sticks out more than the good for some of these guys. But with the younger guys, I think we need to let them grow and mature.
It's so funny with Kirk, especially with Kirk Cousins, a guy like Kirk Cousins. It's like he always throws that pick at like the worst fucking time. You know what I'm saying? You know,
almost like Matt Stafford,
right? But that's my point,
right?
Like you can have all the fucking great numbers you want, and that's fantastic. But then you throw that killer fucking interception or fumble at like the worst possible fucking time, and I'm sorry. That's to me that doesn't make you a great quarterback or even a good quarterback. You can't do that and consider yourself like an upper echelon quarterback. You can't.
The consistent mistakes at the key times are the ones that I agree with. But when it comes down to it, if you make one mistake, doesn't negate almost an entire half a season of great quarterback play for me. And as much as I dog Kirk Cousins too,
I fucking love.
Where'd he go to school?
Yeah. Yeah, we all know.
All right, I know. I was just waiting for Frank to say it. We were going back to the bit.
It was a question I was hoping was rhetorical, but then I realized I actually had that.
We were going back to the bit. We were going back to the bit. Anyway,
he's a Sparty.
It's full circle, right?
He's one of us.
He's one of you, Frank.
He's one of us.
So, but when it comes down to it, yeah, I like to hate on the guy too. But I look at the numbers overall, I'm like, man, I can't even hate on. If he throws one bad pick in a half a season of good football, I feel like it might be wrong of me to go, you fucked up once, fuck you, you're a loser. You know what I mean? Like it's just
one of the only quarterbacks. Like I'm thinking about this stuff as you're saying it. One of the only quarterbacks that hasn't fallen into that trap, and I think it was based on the low expectations almost, was Deshaun Watson. He kind of overperformed from what everybody said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, he's irrelevant as anything at this point, but other than that, I can't think of a quarterback who was almost undersold going into the league.
Right.
Especially recently. But I'm thinking even Lamar. I mean, Mahomes was hyped up, but he was on the bench for the first year, so...
I mean, Lamar won a Heisman Trophy.
He was. Yeah, he did. But... look at what he's ended up doing as an NFL quarterback. He's got great games, but he's also got incredibly mediocre games.
But he also has an MVP to his name.
So does Cam.
He does. So he's got an MVP. Yeah. But people still say he's completely inconsistent and can't throw the football. But he's got an MVP.
Right.
So again, sometimes I think we just expect too much. Like the guy won an MVP and we're all like, well, did you see that pick he threw? That's fucking awful. It's like, all right, well, let's let the guy grow a little bit in the league, man.
Let's stop talking about him being otherworldly and just let him be Lamar and appreciate what he does, whether it's otherworldly or not.
But again, that's media. Media does that.
I agree.
We've already stated, I am irrational. I don't
Yes.
give a fuck about the media.
Like we
I blame
we
the
can
kids
sit
for
back
that.
and look at every one of the quarterbacks that we just talked about, and we can see them for what they are right now. These assholes on like ESPN and Fox and whatever, they look at these guys like they're the end all be all of
everything.
Of everything. Like if they have like one bad game, oh, he fucking sucks. This guy's so fucking terrible. Or if he has a great game, he's the best quarterback ever.
Right.
It's like, dude, stop.
It's
Stop.
like every quarterback has ups and downs. The ones that prove themselves to be the greats are the ones that have more ups than downs.
Yes.
They learn how to balance that
Even
out.
Brady
right?
has shitty games.
Yes, exactly. He is, but
He just
he's
came off of a 2-game losing streak.
Right.
Like he played
Granted, the dude's-
borderline terrible in both of
Granted,
them.
the dude's like 1,000, but fuck, dude, he's
Okay.
allowed to have bad games.
okay. Granted, he's coming back from an injury.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson had 2 really bad games in a row now.
Yes.
So it's off an injury. But when you look at it, the guys like Russ, the guys like Aaron Rodgers, the guys like Tom Brady,
Yeah.
they still have ups and downs. They just have more ups than downs because they learn how to balance that out a little better. They learn how to get better. They grow with the game. They get better at
You
the
look
game.
at Rodgers' first game this season; it was
It was horrible.
night and day compared to what he
Oh,
did
it
this
was, it was
past week.
absolutely terrible.
So it's one of those things where I really been thinking about it lately. I think sometimes we just expect too much out of these quarterbacks, and they throw one bad pick, and we're like, oh, you fucking suck. Meanwhile, they've got 3 touchdowns and 300 yards before that,
Right.
or whatever the stats may be. We're like, all right, maybe this is just a down, right? I mean, they gotta grow with the game, and the game now expects more out of quarterbacks than it used to. Like everything is expected of these kids. You know what I mean? Like of these quarterbacks.
That part of that I feel like goes to the state of the media right now, and everybody wants to be hot take city.
True.
Everybody wants to be the guy who looks at it and goes, I told you he was going to be great. I told you he was going to be the best.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about Parsons the other day. I called him for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
And you did.
Right. Which is great. But I'm not going to sit here and remind everybody of that
Right.
fucking daily
Dude's a beast.
because it's obvious.
Dude's a beast.
He's proven it himself.
Yeah.
Like, cool, I called it, but guess what? He proved it. The end of the day, I can call anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they don't prove it.
You literally had nothing to do with that.
Right.
Nothing.
I'm just a guy with a microphone who was like, hey, I think this is going to happen.
And it happened.
And I've been right 30 sometimes
And
and been wrong 30 sometimes with
Right.
shit that I thought wasn't going to happen. Like,
As we all have, but the big name guys that are on the big media, right, that get blasted out
and
there,
they
like,
ride these
when-
opinions till the fucking wheels come
well,
off.
and then when all of a sudden their opinion's wrong, they just gloss over it and go on to
Yeah,
the next
they
opinion.
don't- they don't take
acknowledge
accountability
their
for it. I
losses.
mean-
they only acknowledge their wins.
And I know you will understand that what I'm about to say. I'm not going to say have done that, but we've kind of leaned into that way with Baker. Baker's gone from being Johnny Manziel to being Joe Montana, back to being Johnny Manziel, to being Tom Brady, back to being Johnny Manziel. Like, this guy is either the greatest or the worst on any given week.
And
And that's how the media looks at him.
Joe, I think, will agree with me on this one. As much as I didn't like Baker, I've given him his props when he's.
When he's
deserved
on,
his
he's
props.
on.
But my biggest thing with him was his consistency, 100%. And that's why
And it's proven to be an issue.
100%. But now that's becoming my thing with Josh Allen as well. It's like, dude, like you got to be consistent, man.
And I look at it this year more than ever. I look at it and I'm like, is there much consistency in the NFL right now? It's an overall
this
it's an
year?
overall thing, and then I'm looking and I'm like,
no.
is it one guy? Is it just Josh Allen? Is it just Baker Mayfield? Or you're looking at it, it's like, holy shit, there's a lot of inconsistency in the NFL right now.
But Josh is the perfect example of the other side of that argument. Josh is a guy, even when he's had bad years, he goes into the next year still being mentioned as an MVP candidate. What's the difference between him and Baker right now? We just talked about the fact that they've played pretty similar.
Yeah.
Rushing,
Rushing.
Yeah.
literally.
So what's the difference that gives rushing's the difference that gives Josh Allen an MVP consideration compared to what Baker does? Like,
It's a dual threat thing, yeah.
No,
Right.
Absolutely.
And part of it is
which, if it pans out, yeah, 100%.
part of it is the reason why you guys have had a problem with Baker. It's his personality.
No, I actually enjoy him on those commercials. I think it's kind
I
of funny
will
on
say
those commercials.
his
Well, but his personality was grating in college. A lot of people didn't like his
Yeah,
personality
that's
in
what
college.
turned me off.
the
the
aura
of
around
college,
him
yes.
coming out of college,
and
I
then,
did not care.
And then since then, his personality, he's toned it down. But in his
Yeah.
press conferences, he can come across with some of that personality that people don't like.
But that's what got him the Johnny Manziel comparison, was the shit in college
Right.
and the way he acted in the press conferences when he first got in there. And then he plays, and he's the greatest quarterback in the world.
Right.
Until the
Until
next
he
week.
has a bad game, and then he's back to being Johnny Manziel.
Right.
Well,
Like,
and it's-
like that was the biggest reason I didn't like him coming out of college. I thought he was an arrogant fuck that honestly shouldn't have been an arrogant fuck.
the whole planting the flag
Like,
thing.
no, I love that because that's where he fucking did it at.
Yeah.
But just being an arrogant fuck for no other reason, just to be an arrogant fuck. There was no reason for that.
He had that came from nowhere castaway shit going on.
a lot of guys-
he had that chip on his shoulder. That's what it was.
Dude, the majority of the NFL came from that.
I know, but I'm talking about in college. If we're talking about his college attitude, basically he was a walk-on
Right.
that ended up being the starting quarterback and a
Right.
Heisman Trophy winner. That's where that attitude came from. I'm not excusing it.
No.
I'm not saying it was right.
Right.
I'm just saying like you got to look kind of where that attitude came from.
No, I can understand that, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean I have to like it.
I
Because,
agree.
mean, there's a lot of guys that there's some guys that have done that, and they just didn't have to let you know about it.
Right.
Like, dude. Like, you know
Right.
what? If you really want to impress me, do what you did at Oklahoma, then come into the league and dominate. Oh, great. Cool,
Well,
man.
The only problem with that is, again, I will. I'm going to get stuck back at him here, even though I've been kind of shitting
No,
on
you
him
should
for
back
being
him.
inconsistent. Last year, he basically resurrected.
No, he had a
Cleveland.
great season last
Well,
year.
when
The
he
amount
got
of times I praised him last year made
No,
me
no.
sick.
when you look, but still, he still gets shit on now by national media, like because of being Baker Mayfield. And again, this year he hasn't been consistent.
Right. Always getting
Been
hammered.
injured. The team's been awful.
Hammered.
Overall, the team's been fucking brutal.
Some weeks he deserves
But-
to get hammered for it.
But when you look at it, he never. If Josh Allen would have done that in Cleveland, he wouldn't get near the shit that Baker Mayfield
No,
gets
he wouldn't.
because he's Baker Mayfield.
Right.
And you
And that's
take his name away.
What I was ultimately
But
getting
here's
back
that's
to was
you're,
my
Joe. You're
point
right about this.
was my point was it did not matter who he was or who Cleveland's quarterback was. Wherever Baker was going to be at that time, Baker was going to get
Because
shit
he
on.
came in with that bravado.
Right.
He came
Because
in with
of the
that fucking attitude.
But
And-
if you were to look at, so take his name away from it.
Yeah.
If any other quarterback from that season or from any other comes in, resurrects Cleveland football, takes them to the playoffs,
As long as
wins
your
a
last
playoff
name's not Manziel
or Mayfield
or Baker or
Right.
Mayfield,
Yeah.
you're a god.
No,
Right.
100%.
And that's the only thing that bugs me about that is he gets unneeded hatred. The hatred he deserves, I'm all for that because this year I'm kind of hating on him too,
Right.
and I'm kind of hating on the coach for not sitting him. But when it comes down to it, overall,
Yeah.
I looked at it overall after just looking at that situation, looking at Josh Allen. I went, man, are we just expecting too much of these quarterbacks early on? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
No,
we're
you're
not.
In my opinion, you're spot on.
I personally don't think we are expecting too much of these quarterbacks. I don't, but especially with how the league is now, where quarterbacks are set up to succeed in the NFL. They are, with how the rules are called now, they are set up to succeed, even
But
as
I
a young
would
quarterback.
Also argue that at this point in time, defenses are being designed around each individual quarterback's game.
Okay.
And once you're exposed, every defense, what we've been talking about with Mahomes. After Oakland figured out Mahomes or Vegas figured out Mahomes, whatever they were at that point in time, everybody's running the same defense out there against Kansas City afterwards.
Right.
And has had decent, not always, but decent success with it.
But now you're seeing Kansas City. There's like, okay, so this is how teams are going to play us now, and they've adjusted
and now they
to
have
that.
to adjust.
And they have adjusted to that. And generally, the
The
offense.
last 2 weeks they have.
And I think that's going to continue.
I hope so.
But generally, it's the offense. It takes the defense longer to adjust to an offense. It just does. And
Absolutely.
this just goes more to my point of with younger quarterbacks that you're set up to succeed in the NFL. You are. This is the way I feel about it.
Well, and to that point, I understand where you're coming from. I look at it and I say, there's a lot put on their shoulders too, because basically the whole game runs through them.
Well,
and that's
you can't disagree with that because there is. You are the starting quarterback of an NFL fucking franchise.
Right.
But even before that, when the league was say we go back to Peyton, where you said it was more rushing, right? They were able to take some of that pressure off of him by having a rushing game. There was you didn't call as many pass interference calls, so it was tighter coverage or whatever. You know, now it's a passing league more so, and you have a rookie quarterback coming in and you go, Here you go, win us the Super Bowl. And it's like, I mean, you know, there's other things in between winning a Super Bowl and failing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that goes into that. And just because the defenses have to back off a little bit and they call it a tighter game doesn't mean there isn't good defensive play out there, and you don't have to learn about that. You know, I understand where you're coming from and saying that the game has been geared towards offense and towards passing. Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't change the fact
in
that
5 years it'll go back to being a running backs game. Like
think
every 10 years it seems to change. It goes pass heavy for a while, then it goes run heavy.
I don't see that happening. I don't.
I mean, I look back and when we're talking about LT and who was the fucking guy in Kansas City that they had
Priest
forever?
Holmes.
Priest Holmes, Sean Alexander, all those guys.
You had those guys, and it was all run heavy, and now it's gone back to pass. And then I think at some point it'll go back.
Shit, that's the era I was talking about. That's when Peyton was coming up. Was that fucking era?
That's when they geared towards passing, though. Like that was when it really started gearing towards the passing game.
But it was still a run game.
They had Edgerrin James.
I know
but yet Peyton was still throwing the ball.
He was
30 times a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you've got Harrison and Reddy.
But now you see guys throwing the ball like 49, 50 fucking times a game.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
that's 20 more fucking times.
Right,
and
exactly.
still ending games with 77 fucking passing yards.
Right, but no matter what, when you still space it out, no matter how many times they threw the ball then or throw the ball now, your quarterback rating takes all those numbers into account.
I know that.
So when it comes down to it, if you're throwing the ball 50 times, your odds of throwing an interception are a lot greater than throwing the ball 30 times.
obviously,
You know what I
yes.
mean? Like that's just it's the way it comes down to it.
No, I get that.
So that was just my take. I know we got off on that for a while.
Off on that one.
So I didn't think that was going to turn into that big of a conversation.
Just to
but,
bring it back real quick, Joe.
I'm going to take Buffalo.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Who did you take Dallas Vegas?
Joe, I think he's talking to you.
Joe.
Oh, I took Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, we went way off of that. Holy
Sorry,
fuck.
guys.
For
I
almost,
was-
for
it was one-
almost an hour.
There was one little question I wanted to ask, and we went way off.
Well,
Sorry.
we discussed it last week. We knew we were going to go long this week because we were getting into a lot more.
Obviously,
football.
the biggest game of the week, Bears Lions
Versus Adam Nagy.
Yes. Apparently, Adam Nagy's last game as head coach of the Bears.
If he loses, it will be.
Right. Bears are laying 3.5.
Bears.
Oh, really? You guys are both taking the Bears?
Yep.
It's almost like I didn't have that put in already.
Well, and 3.5 points might make a difference. Nah, I'm going to go with the Bears.
Red Rifle's going to tear it up, baby.
I told you guys earlier I was dying on this hill, so give me the Lions.
Okay.
I just want to say something about that Bears team last week. Did you notice that they didn't run one RPO while Justin Fields was in the game? And
amazing.
As soon as you put in Andy Dalton, what does Adam Nagy do?
Runs an RPO.
Calls an RPO.
Unbelievable.
And it was a touchdown.
I would also like to state for the record, even though I've mentioned none of his other picks, Andrew did just get back to me, and he's also taken Detroit.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm not the only one stupid.
Did you put in the
enough
rest?
to take the Lions.
Does he have the rest of his picks in there?
He does.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And we've got Mississippi, OU, Bama, MSU, OSU, Detroit, Vegas, Buffalo.
Got it.
I'll take your word for it. Just send it to me later.
I hope he's right about Vegas, but that's another team I don't really see winning the rest of this year.
Well, I mean, they 7.5 points is a lot in the NFL. So I mean,
It is.
if they could obviously cover and not win that game, but
Right.
Yes.
And
It'd be
Dallas,
nice if it was close.
well, you never know. It's the inconsistent NFL.
It is. And Dallas is the poster boy for that right now. Dallas has 1 week where they look like, I almost call them a World Series team. That would have been bad. Super Bowl team. They got 1 week they look like a Super Bowl team, and the next week,
You did say you're stumbling over your words today,
dude,
so
yeah,
you're Joe Bidening it. I think you called it.
I do believe you said that, yes.
I took the bait on that one.
those
yes.
were my words.
Yeah, that was Frank's words, not mine.
Listen,
Just repeating.
I was trying to think of something I can compare how awful I had been, and I was like, this is literally the only thing that's sticking out. And one of them's gonna.
You
love
literally
this.
could have just said the Detroit Lions. That's all you had to say. That's it.
I'm Detroit lining it.
Yes, you're lionized.
No,
He's
'cause-
lionized.
He's lying. Oh, he's lying.
He's lionized.
Okay. We can go lionized.
Oh, we are going on 2 hours here, folks.
Yeah.
So I think
And I couldn't get a full thought out in the first 5 fucking minutes.
That happens.
listen. If you've listened to the entire show, you've heard a lot,
You have.
like a fucking lot.
And thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
You are a trooper if you've listened to this entire show.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's going to end our show for the week. We will not be in on Sunday for SOT game day.
Nope.
We're going to take the weekend off. It is the holiday,
Yep.
Thanksgiving. We're going to spend the time with our families. Spend the time with your families too. Enjoy some football. Enjoy some food.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Family, food, football.
Drinks, whatever
That's
do
what
you
this is
think.
all about, right? So
Hey, be
enjoy
safe
it.
out there, especially on
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's the biggest part of the year. Just
Be safe.
out there, dude. Just get an Uber. Just get an Uber.
Be smart.
Yes, exactly.
Don't be-
Say
don't
call
be-
one of us, but
Don't be Henry.
No, I'm not
Don't be
picking-
Henry
get an
Ruggs.
Uber.
I'm not picking your drunk ass up, but call an Uber.
If you need me to, I will. I will be sober. I can pick you up. Call me.
Like-
I mean, if you don't know me, don't call me. But if you know me, call me. I'll pick you up.
Frankly, if you have enough money to go out and drink, you have enough money to get a fucking Uber. Period.
Don't be Henry Ruggs.
Yes, don't be that guy.
So be safe.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Enjoy your families. Happy Thanksgiving. We will see you again next week on Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. for Sports on Tap, the OG show next Tuesday. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace out.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no!
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.